our program to bring you its important message.
You're listening to the Mind Over Metal podcast with DJ Mac and DJ Metal Mike. So sit back, crack open a brew, and break out your stash while we do our retrospectives, reviews, and if you're Mike, tangents.
Alright, and we're back. It's Mind Over Metal Podcast right here, mindovermetalpodcast.com. Had a bit of a sabbatical, but we're back in action, ready to kick some ass. And I am joined, as always, by the one and only Mike Tyler. What's up, Mike? Sorry, Mike, I just noticed that your mic was muted there, so just say hello to everybody again.
Hey, this is DJ Metal Mike, man. Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry about that, man.
Right,
I just
cool.
fucked it up. Bit rusty there, but anyway.
Hey, man.
Good to be back.
It happens, dude. Like you said, we've been off for a month, and, you know, it's great to be back. Great to be doing this with you again, brother. I've totally fucking missed you.
Yeah,
you know,
same as, dude.
You know, we still talk, you know, via Facebook and shit, but it's just not the fucking same.
Nah.
And, you know, I want to also thank the listeners for being so patient, you know. That's fucking awesome, but...
And the numbers too, man, I have to fucking say it. Like, we haven't had a new episode in, man, must be 6 weeks, 5 weeks, anyway.
Something like that. Well, I think, August, right, was our last...
Yeah, the last day of August.
We totally missed September, because September was supposed to be W.A.S.P Month, and you know, or whatever you want to call it, and it wasn't, you know, because, you know, I mean, unfortunately, sometimes real life gets in the way, man, but, yeah, so what was you going to say? I
was just going to say, considering we didn't have a new episode for well over a month, the numbers, man, people were still tuning in, listening back to the old episodes. They, you know, a lot of new listeners as well, which is great, so hopefully we can, you know, keep this thing moving and the momentum going, and grow this fucking thing even more. But I just want to thank everyone for, like, even today, I just looked back at the numbers, and, you know, we had like 40 downloads today, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just fucking...
That's fucking amazing.
Amazing.
Well, you know, I try to tell people about the podcast as much as possible. You know, but yeah, that's wow. That's, like you said, considering we haven't had because I was a little concerned about that. I'm like, man, we've got this good thing going, and we got this new format we're tried, and I think it was a success. Like, I've really enjoyed doing the Rat Retrospective.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Doing it, and it was like, well, you know, because like I said, man, I wanted to kind of do something that maybe kind of set us apart from other podcasts, you know, and that's very difficult to do, you know. I mean, because there's some guys, like, say, the Decibel Geek, they're so good at what they do, I'm not even gonna, you know, attempt to do that, you know. Yeah. I mean, that's cool. I mean, and then, like, Ralph and Ian, you know, they kind of got the whole, like, album review thing going.
Yep.
And yeah, we were doing that for a while. Not that was the only thing we did. We did other things as well, but yeah, I think the retrospective thing is really cool. And even though we have done a few album reviews, what's great about that, once we do those bands, we can always do exactly what Ralph and Ian. Well, if you want to know what we thought of this particular album, listen to episode such and such. So, yeah, man. That blows me away. I'm flattered, you know, that anyone would want to hear me flap my fucking gums about anything, really. You know, it's kind of like the live shows we do for that metalstation.com. You know, it's like I get to fucking play metal and hang out with my buds and drink beer and talk metal, and people are entertained by this. Well, fuck, I'd be doing it outside in my backyard around a campfire.
Yeah.
Even if, you know what I mean? Like, so to me, it's like, this is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you know?
Yeah, it's like basically us doing this podcast as well is like people just tuning in and listening to our 2-hour phone call. You know, that's basically what it is.
It kind of blows my mind that, but I mean, hey, I listen to other podcasts, you know, and I enjoy them. I mean, so I don't know, there's just something cool because, especially certain ones like, you know, that, like the Rock and Metal Combat podcast with Dr. Fuck and Wadzilla. The first time I heard them, even I was like, "Well, God, man, these guys remind me of me and my buddies." You know, like it was just, you know, they're just so fucking funny and so natural. Yeah, you know that. I mean, to me, I still think they're the best. You know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You know, but
they're responsible for a lot of us guys.
Well, sure. You know, like they're the ones that inspired me to do this. They're the ones that, like when Scott Green had an ad for the station, I was like, yeah, I'll be a DJ, man. And at the time that appealed to me because I thought, well, this is different from what Ralph and Ian was doing. Because for a long time I was like, I don't know, I want to get into podcasting, but fuck, Ralph and Ian are so good at it, and I don't know if I can, you know. And then finally, when you started doing this and you asked me to come aboard, I thought, well, fuck, man, why not? I had so much fun doing that Kiss review.
Yeah, that was great.
Plus, I'd guested on the Rock and Metal Combat podcast. Plus, you know, DJ Psychosin, another one of our DJs, he has a podcast, which I don't know if he's done any new episodes lately. I know he's been really, really busy. Ronnie's been really busy. But he had me on a few times. And recently I did an episode of The Rock Show with Gully and Joe, which is another excellent podcast.
Yeah, I checked that out.
I like them a lot. I like them a lot because, again, much like Ralph and Ian, Gully and Joe are brutally honest. They will straight up tell you. What's really cool about them, though, is they've been able to be brutally honest and yet still get killer guests for their show. So,
nice.
Yeah, you know, I mean, but yeah, they used to be part of the station. I mean, one of the reasons why I'm so fond of them, especially Gully, like when I first joined the station, dude, I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. Like, I even told Scott that when I took this fucking slot, like, I'm computer retarded, bro. But what I lack in that, I more than make up for my passion with this music. And, you know, of course, I'm sure just like you, Scott asked me my 5 favorite bands.
Yep.
I told him, he said, you're hired.
Yep.
And since then, of course, I'm not computer retarded anymore. I've learned a lot. But, yeah, so, you know, hey, man, once again, I just want to give a thank you to all those guys because what I was going to say is my point was Gully was the guy who made me my first jingle.
Oh,
he was
nice.
the first guy who said, hey, you know, because at that point in time, the Rock Show was a live show, and it was part of our station. Eventually, they had to become a podcast because they couldn't do a live show anymore. You know, once again, like anybody else, real life got in the way. So they ended up just forming a podcast and leaving the station. But as far as I'm concerned, Gully and Joe will always be family. They're my boys, man.
Yeah,
especially, you know, like I said, especially Gully. I mean, he was cool enough to, hey, man, you need me to make you a jingle and all that. I you know, I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, you know, so, yeah, my very first jingle was made by Gully, man.
Nice.
True story.
Yeah, but I checked out that episode that you guested on. Now, I hadn't... well, I think I might have checked out 1 or 2 episodes before, but I don't know how they've kind of been off my radar, but definitely I'm going to dig back in their archives because I really, really enjoyed that show. And it's not just because you were on it. I think the guys sound like pretty cool guys.
Well,
so
yeah, they're cool guys, and and much like Ralph and Ian, they just got great chemistry together.
Yeah.
And dude, that was like, I'll never forget it. I just got off work. I literally had just got home. Gully contacts me. Bickety bam, we did it right then, right there. There was no fucking around like at all. It was like this, and we had so much fun that they said they'd like to have me back on. And they said, well, give us a list of some albums you'd like to do. So, you know, here's hoping, you know, I mean, I'll do it in a heartbeat, man. They're really great guys and great podcasts, man. So
awesome. Yep.
Check
so
out
good.
The Rock Show with Gully and Joe. And in the immortal words of Gully, listen to it, then be a cunt.
What's her website again? Is it
I think it's rockshowgoeyandjoe.com.
Yeah, something like that. Joe,
UK, you know what? Just provide a link. We can provide a link with the description of the show if you want.
Yeah, and we'll stick it up on the Facebook pages as well.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Check it out.
Man.
Cool. Just while we're on, before we get into it, I just want to say once again thanks to everybody for sticking by and downloading the episodes and checking us out while we were off. But yes, we are back. And we have a couple of iTunes reviews before we get into our W.A.S.P retrospective. So you ready for some iTunes reviews?
Oh, definitely. And before we go on, I want to say to anybody listening, any reviews, iTunes especially, because apparently that's really important. Fortunately, Apple rules the world these days, I guess. But Facebook reviews or Spreaker or wherever, man, probably I would say the easiest way probably to contact us would be Facebook. And the only reason why I say that is because with iTunes, I do know that there's different versions of iTunes in different countries. So sometimes we can't always, and with Mac being in Ireland and me being in the colonies, as they like to call it over there, it's really hard for us to always know, because I know with the Rock and Metal Combat podcast, they get a lot of reviews sometimes that they can't even read.
Well, you can read them. You can read them, but you need to know. You have to go into that specific country. So for these reviews that I have, these are all US reviews. So I had to go into the US iTunes to find it, and that's fine. It's not too much of a hassle. But if somebody in, say, Holland or the Netherlands leaves us a review, you're not really going to log into every one and check and see if you have a review. But if you do leave one and you're from, we have a lot of listeners in Mexico, Brazil, Philippines, Australia.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you do leave an iTunes review, shoot Mike or myself a message on Facebook.
Oh, by all means.
Tell us where you're from.
Yep,
so, tell us where you're from, and then we can log in on that country, see your review, and we'll read it out.
Yeah, any feedback is appreciated. I'm just fucking thankful that you people listen to us at all. So, let's do this, man.
Awesome. Okay, first one up is a 5-star review, and this is from J-Bro Music, and the title is Solid New Metal Podcast. Goes on to say, I just got turned on to this podcast recently and really like it so far. The Kiss podcast was excellent, as was the King Diamond Them review. I'm currently checking out the latest Rat podcast, and I'm loving it. Keep going back to the Kiss as well. It runs deep and will always give you lots to discuss. Nice work, guys. So that was a killer review from J-Bro Music. So thanks for that, man.
What's his name again, Matt?
J-Bro Music.
Well, J-Bro, you fucking rule, man.
Yeah.
And if you're not married yet, I will dance at your fucking wedding, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously, that was thank you from the bottom of my heart, man.
He's a fucking sultan. That's what he is. He rules.
Yeah, I mean, straight up, man. That means a lot to me because, yeah, I mean, seriously. And if you think that's cool, wait until we do our Kiss retrospective.
Looking forward to that.
I'm hoping we can get Bill Wayne at least for a few of those episodes.
I'm sure we could,
that would be fucking awesome, man.
We'll get the checkbook out.
Yeah, right. A lot of times we're going to try to get certain guests. Some of them are DJs at our station or friends of ours. I mean, like we've had Ralph Vieira on. I missed that episode because my fucking power went out. Did you know that happened to me last Friday, dude? Like about 2 hours before I was supposed to go on the air, my power went out. Again,
oh, man.
Fucking crystal clear blue sky. That's like the third or fourth time that's happened this year.
Fuck. It must be aliens.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't get it. I'm just like, I don't know if maybe the fucking something's weird's going on because it's just like, well, what the fuck, man? It's not storming. It's not like there's hurricane or tornado. Like, why the fuck is my power going out?
Yeah,
man? I don't understand it. And thankfully, it came on back came back on in enough time for me and my brother to do the show. Because, and that's another thing. I'm really excited about my show, man, because I've got my older brother back doing it with me again. And don't get me wrong, every time, we still try to have my friend Dirty Dave and my friend Bildo on as well, and whoever else has been on the show. But my brother and I, we know each other so well, and we got chemistry, and the listeners are really getting a kick out of it. So
yeah, I haven't checked your show out in a few weeks, but I'll be tuning in.
And I also
Friday.
want to give a shout out to my older brother because he made our new intro,
and it's killer. Thanks.
My older brother David Tyler, aka Scapegoat, that's his handle.
You fucking rule, Scapegoat.
Yeah, he does, man. That's
I love his voice.
Oh, isn't he great?
Yeah.
Well, I would love for him to be a DJ, but there's just no way he would love to do it, but there's just no way. I mean, he's got a lot going on, though,
Yeah. And can I add, he looks like such a fucking badass.
He's got the look, man. He got all the cool genes when he's like, we fuck with each other all the time because, I'm bald and shit, and he's got this fucking Viking mane,
and the beard.
It's like fucking bullshit. Yeah, it's like, this is bullshit, man, but, hey, fuck it, man. Awesome dudes like Rob Halford and fucking Phil Anselmo proved, and Kurt Winstein from fucking Crowbar, they proved you can be bald as fuck and still be metal, so.
Absolutely.
I don't fucking... I mean, and then one of the reasons why I started shaving my head was just my hair. I had a receding hairline; it was thinning out anyway. So I thought, well, fuck it.
Yep.
If
you're
Daddy's
damn
gonna
right.
be bald, he's gonna be fucking bald. I'm not gonna be doing the Trump, dude.
You're damn right, because some fuckers just don't know when to let go with their hair, and the hair recedes back, and it just looks
or
terrible.
They have to skull it, like Lars Ulrich. What's up with his skullet? For a while, he was just shaving his head, and he looked so much better. But now he's like growing his hair again, and he's got what I call the skullet. And it's like, really, Lars? I love you, bro, but come on, man.
A guy with that sort of money, if he's that paranoid about his hair, go get a fucking hair transplant.
Yeah, no shit. Especially Lars, man. He's fucking loaded, dude. Lars, if you're listening, dude, you want to grow the hair long, dude? Or wig it like Gene Simmons does. Oh yeah.
Exactly. There's no fucking shame in it. So.
Oh shit. So anyway, thank you, Joe, for
J Bro.
J Bro, man. You fucking rule, dude.
He fucking does rule.
Yeah, and I'm glad you like what we're doing. I really do. Thank you.
Next one is a guy that we know. We know him well. Another 5-star review titled Love It, and it's by Mark Alden Taylor from the Freeform Rock podcast.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Pretty
Mark.
cool of him. Hey, Mark. He says, love this podcast. It rules and love the rad episodes. Keep up the metal and rock. We'll be tuning in. Cheers for that, Mark. Really
Thank you, Mark.
that.
I listen to his show from time to time, too. And,
me too.
And I really enjoy the episodes that him and Lee do. I think they kind of got a pretty good chemistry going, And I know Mark would probably love to have Lee on as a... Well, Lee's been on the last few episodes, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. Well, I haven't listened. It's just another one of those podcasts I haven't listened to, because I haven't listened to anything in the last 6 weeks.
Well, you've had a lot going on, dude, to be fair. So, I'm sure Mark will forgive you for that. Funny thing about Mark is he's a day younger than me. He is literally a day younger than me. His birthday's October 9th. Oh. Same year and everything, man. So,
nice.
I like Mark, man. I don't... it's kind of funny with him, because in some ways, me and him are right along with our musical taste, and then but there's other bands, that he's really into where I'm like, not so much. Yeah. And then there's bands I'm into where, because I'm into some really heavy stuff that I know Mark would be like, oh, fuck no, dude.
Yeah, Slayer.
Right, he ain't really into Slayer, and last Sunday, I don't know if he likes King Diamond or not.
Nah, he's too satanic for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mark likes Striper.
But, and hey, that's fine, man.
So do I.
Back in the day, I had the first few Striper albums. I'm not gonna, do some kind of revisionist history and claim that, I was never a huge fan, but here's my take and all that. I don't give a fuck what the subject matter is.
Yeah, as long as the music's
I don't
good.
give a fuck. You could fucking sing about fucking grandma baking you fucking cookies, okay? Or whatever it is. As long as it rocks, then I'm good with it. You want to sing about Jesus or Buddha or Muhammad or, hey, I don't fucking believe in anything, or, I love Satan. He is good. Satan is my pal. Hey, whatever the fuck, I don't care. Like that doesn't. Stuff like that. I just look at most of that as like entertainment. It's just like Ghost. Mm-hmm. I don't obviously believe Tobias. What is it? Tobias Forge, aka Papa Emeritus III. I think he's about to become Papa Emeritus IV.
Yeah, well, the fourth is here already.
Is he here already?
Oh,
okay,
did you not see him?
No, I haven't seen him lately. He's got a new look.
Oh, he's like this old, fucking ancient, gnarly dude with like all this long grey hair, and it's
really,
yeah, it's pretty cool looking. Yeah.
Oh, I'm a Ghost fan, the imagery and all of it I think is really cool.
Yeah.
But my point is I don't think he's like really sitting literally at home having incantations.
No.
I don't. It's just it's no different than Alice Cooper or Kiss or anybody that plays a role.
Yeah.
To me, it's the same thing. So
it's
hey,
theatrics.
Yeah, and I've heard some Christian metal bands that were pretty fucking heavy. And again, man, I don't give a fuck what you sing about as long as you rock.
Yep.
And Stryper back in the day, they rocked, man.
Absolutely.
I gotta be honest with you, I haven't really caught up with a lot of the things that they're doing nowadays. But hey, maybe one of these days, if we ever do a Stryper retrospective, that's one of the reasons why I love this new format. Because sometimes, as you know as well as I do, being part of that metalstation.com, man, we get hit with tons and tons of music from established artists, new artists, fans who are just starting out trying to make it, And as hard as I try, I can't fucking listen to everybody.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's kind of cool about this retrospective is it gives me an opportunity to go, okay, well, I'm going to sit down and actually, it's like doing homework in a way, but it's fun homework.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so anyway, man, thank you, Mark. And thank you, J-Bro.
J-Bro, yep. And we have one more.
Okay.
Yep, one more. Another 5-star titled Great Hard Rock / Heavy Metal Podcast. And it's left by somebody called Jacobs. So I can guess that's Andrew Jacobs. Formerly of Andrew, Mark, and Jake Experience. Or Terrence, Jake, and Mark Experience.
Yeah, I think Terrence and Jake and Mark did a show together for a while. I don't know. There was definitely some drama that went on down there in that whole ordeal, but hey, none of my fucking business.
Yeah. I see that Andrew's, he hasn't been doing podcasts lately, but I think he's doing one last week or this week, so he's obviously got the hunger back, so we might hear him on the airways. Hey, But just short and simple, James McCormick, Mike Tyler host this great podcast dedicated to all things hard rock and heavy metal. 5-star review. Jacobs, 99% sure this. Andrew Jacobs, cheers for that, brother. And that is our iTunes reviews. So thanks once again, keep them coming, because as Mike says, it helps us with like rankings or exposure. I don't really know how the fuck it works, but it helps us. So keep the iTunes reviews coming, and Facebook.
And thank you, Andrew Jacobs.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, man. He's always been very kind. Like, if it is Andrew, and it's, like you said, I'm pretty sure it probably is. He's always been. He's even been complimentary on reviews that he's wrote on the Rock and Metal Combat podcast, saying I was one of his favorite guests, and he's even bragged on my live show, the Metal Mike Show, on that metalstation.com. So
nice.
Thank you for all the compliments, Andrew. I really appreciate it.
Yep,
thank you
absolutely.
so much.
Killer. So that is the iTunes reviews. Any other housekeeping business you want to talk about before we get into this retrospective?
Not really. I do want to mention, though, that last Sunday, man, my buddy Dirty Dave, who's one of the, I guess you could say, host or guest, frequent guests that I have on the Metal Mike Show, he surprised me. He bought me a ticket for my birthday, which is this Sunday, for Exodus and Obituary, the Battle of the Bays. Oh my god, dude. Killer fucking show. I mean, from beginning to end. Even the opening acts, man. Dust Bolt, which is a German thrash metal. They're from Germany. And Power Trip from Dallas, Texas. Fucking badass. Dirty Date bought Dust Bowl CD. I bought fucking Power Trip. We're definitely going to be playing them on the station. I'm going to, be pushing them. Great bands. And, of course, fucking Exodus. Come on. And Obituary, I was really stoked to see them. Because I'm not a huge death metal fan, but they're my favorite death metal band. Nice. I absolutely love Obituary. And they sound... Dude, you could close your eyes and sound it just like the album. Yeah. Exodus sounded great, too. The mic... or the vocals, Zetro's vocals were a little low in the mix, so sometimes it was a little hard to make out what he was singing. Mm-hmm. But other than that, and I don't blame him for that, it was whoever was doing the sound needed to bump his mic up a bit. But man, what a fucking show, dude. Great fucking show. Maybe my favorite show of the year so far, and I've been to some cool ones, man. I saw Deep Purple and Alice Cooper a while back. I saw Zach Sabbath. Told you about that. We did a whole episode.
Yeah, we did an episode on that.
So, yeah, man. So far, man, I gotta say that might have been the show of the fucking year.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw some photos you posted, and it looked fun.
Yeah, I had an absolute blast. Ran into the lead singer of Some Kind of Chaos. That's KINDAKHAOS. They're a local band from the St. Louis Metro East area, and I've played them on the station. They're kind of like a southern sludge metal band. Really cool guys. And he was all like bragging, "Oh, this guy's awesome. He plays our music." And he was telling all his friends who were in other bands about the station. So,
nice.
And I told him about the podcast. So, hey, man, hopefully we'll get even more listeners.
Killer, awesome. Oh, by the way, guess where I will be 2 weeks today? Actually, this time 2 weeks, where will I be?
Well, if I remember right, which is going to fit in great with what we're doing, you're going to be going to see W.A.S.P here shortly.
Yes, I am. 19th of October in the Academy in Dublin, going to see them. So, really excited. Never saw W.A.S.P before, so got the tickets for my birthday back in July. So, I'm really fucking excited for this.
And what's really cool about this is it's kind of be cool because when are you going exactly?
2 weeks today, so
which will
the
still
19th.
Be October, yeah.
Yep,
there you go.
We
can talk about it on the podcast, man.
Yep.
We can make it part of the retrospective. You can tell us what you thought of the show and stuff. I never saw W.A.S.P. My older brother did, but nope, never did, man.
Yeah. I'm excied because it's the Crimson Idol 25th anniversary tour, so they're playing that album in its entirety, and then at the end they're doing just like a greatest hits, a small greatest hits set. So I had a look at the set list. They played some shows already in Europe, on the continent there. So what is it? They're playing Love Machine, I Wanna Be Somebody, Wild Child. Good fucking tracks like that. So they're playing about 5 or 6 songs extra of the greatest hits, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. And they're going to do the entire Crimson Idol. So is this like just an evening with W.A.S.P? Is there no opening act?
There is an opening act. They just announced it. They just announced it the other day, but to be honest, I don't fucking remember. Well, I never heard of them.
Well, the reason why I was asking though was because it sounded like maybe that's where they were going, because when I saw Machine Head a couple of years ago at a small club, it was called An Evening with Machine Head. There was no opening band, and they played for like 3.5, almost 4 hours, dude. It was fucking awesome. And I'm thinking, well, fuck, maybe that's what W.A.S.P is doing if they're going to do the entire Crimson Idol album plus, another set. I mean, that's good. Wow,
Okay, the band's called The Cruel Knives. I've never heard of them. That's the opening band.
Who knows, though? Maybe they might be a badass band.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to check them out.
You can play them on your show,
Yep, I'm going to check them out. And a few days before that, I'm actually going to see The Darkness as well.
Oh, okay. I remember The Darkness, man.
Yeah, they were pretty cool, yeah. I loved them back in the day.
Yeah. I was never a huge fan, but, to be honest with you, Mac, I only know a couple of songs. That's somebody I wouldn't mind maybe, checking out their stuff and seeing, sometimes with some bands, it's a good idea to kind of dig a little deeper because, because there's certain bands like say Twisted Sister. I know to even this day, there's still some metal fans that all they know is fucking
I Wanna Rock.
I Wanna Rock and fucking We're Not Gonna Take It. And I'm like, oh my God, there was so much more to him than that. I mean, that album alone, Stay Hungry, has some great fucking, don't get me wrong, those songs are cool too, but some great fucking tunes. And I mean, don't even get me started on the first two albums. I mean, you know, I think the first three Twisted Sister albums are fucking stone cold metal classics as far as I'm concerned. It kind of bums me out in a way that that's been overshadowed by these two hit songs. Like, well, that's all they ever did. No, that wasn't all they ever did, you know. But that's a whole other podcast right there. I'm not going to go into the, you know, but I'm just using them as an example, you know. So, so
check it. I'll send you over some of the Darkness. I was a fan of the Darkness from when that first album dropped, and I think it was 2003. I saw them on that tour. 2004, they headlined a festival here, 100,000 people. It was pretty fucking crazy, but I haven't seen them since. So that's what, fucking 14 years gap between seeing them. So I'm excited to see those guys too. So I have a busy couple of weeks. Actually a busy week because it all falls on the 1 week. Not next week, the week after. So I'm looking forward to it. So no doubt I'll be talking about the W.A.S.P show on one of our episodes this month. So, but how about we get into this, Mike?
Let's do this shit, dude.
It's the W.A.S.P retrospective, so I'm just gonna let you do all the hard work now and take it away as you normally do.
Okay. Well, you know, W.A.S.P, of course, and I'll tell you what, one of the best, they got an actual official website, and it's a good one, man. Like, if you want to know about W.A.S.P and where they started, oh my God, dude.
I must check it out.
You have to, man, because when I was doing research for it, you know, because if you remember, I kind of complained, like, well, fuck, and I found out what was up with Rat. Rat did have a website. Unfortunately, it was fucking Scab Rat. Yeah, it was Fuckstick, Fuckstick's Scab Band, and you know, I you know, fuck all that. I don't have no fucking time for that.
Time for that shit.
Yeah, you know, it's like, you know, fuck off, man. But anyway, yeah, I found out a lot about the band and where they came from, and it was really, really cool, because I was a W.A.S.P fan. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a W.A.S.P fan back in the day, but I gotta be honest with you, after the Headless Children, I kind of tuned down on W.A.S.P for a while, and it wasn't like a conscious thing, you know. It wasn't like, oh well, I got really involved in the thrash metal movement, and like, I didn't even know about the Crimson Idol till later. Like, I was under the impression that W.A.S.P had kind of broke up, because even though they were still putting out records, or at least from my point of view, they kind of fell off the radar a bit, you know.
Yeah.
And but you know, we'll get there in that minute. But yeah, Blackie Lawless says right here, he was born Stephen Duran on September 4th, 1956. He lived in Staten Island, New York, where he hung out with Ace Frehley from Kiss fame.
Oh, nice. Didn't know that.
Yeah. Blackie was stabbed in a fight, and at 14, he was sent to military school to learn discipline. After 18 months and a 2-year sentence, he was thrown out after beating up a sergeant major.
Sounds about right.
Right. Blackie was 9 when he got his first guitar, and in that same year, he earned $16.35 in his first band called The Underside. At the age of 16, Blackie played with an East Coast band called Black Rabbit. Touting his talents around local bars, another early band was called Orphax Rainbow, in which he played for quite a while. When a singing vacancy came up with the legendary New York Dolls after Johnny Thunders leaves, Blackie takes it up. He had just turned 18. Now, see, I had no idea he played with the New York Dolls. I did not know that.
No.
After 6 months... Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just saying, I didn't fucking know that neither.
Right. After 6 months playing with the then-dying New York Dolls, Blackie and fellow Dolls bassist Arthur Kane decided to leave New York and head to L.A. They form a band called Killer Kane and release a 33.5 EP. This includes the tracks Mr. Cool on side 1, Long-Haired Woman, and Don't Need You on side 2. Not familiar with those songs. probably should have looked him up on YouTube, but I didn't. Blackie is known at this time as Blackie Gooseman. Eventually, man, that's a fucked up name.
That's fucked up,
yeah, Killer Kane breaks up. Arthur decides to go back to New York, and Blackie stays in L.A. In 1977, Blackie and Randy Piper joined together to form a band called Sister.
Circus.
No, Sisters, what it says right here.
Sister, yeah.
Sister were amongst the first groups in L.A. to experiment with occult symbolism and face makeup. It is also believed that Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue also played in the band for a while. Out of the Sister experience, Blackie meets up with Chris Holmes. While browsing through the Beaver Hunt section of Hustler magazine, I'm like, nice. Blackie spots ex-U.S. Marine Chris and decides to contact him. Unfortunately, the late 1970s was a bad time for heavy metal and hard rock, and Sister failed to generate record company interest despite their loyal club following. Other bands that Blackie had played around in this time were Circus, and London.
Blackie was in London as well?
Apparently, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. And I think that's where he met
was
Nikki
in London.
Sixx. Well, wasn't Nikki in London too, right?
Yeah.
You know what's funny about these scenes, the LA scene, the Bay Area thrash metal scene, all of them, they're so, the New Orleans sludge metal scene, they're so incestuous.
Yeah, they're
like
so
you will
intertwined.
see guys that'll be in other bands that are intertwined, and it's just fucking crazy, Right here it says Blackie and Randy stayed in contact, and in 1982, when Blackie felt that he had good enough material to form a new band, he contacted Randy, Chris, and Tony Richards were also added to the lineup. The band also dabbled with bassist Don Costa for a while before he joined Ozzy. W.A.S.P were now formed, and in late 82 they started live gigging. Their first gig was at a place called the Woodstock in Orange County, and by May 1983 they were able to sell out the then 3,000-seated Santa Monica Civic Hall. Momentum continued with a number of sold-out gigs at the Troubadour. Late 1983, Iron Maiden manager Rod Smallwood went to see the band. He was extremely impressed with the music and outrageous live performances, and he decided to get involved. A substantial recording contract was agreed with Capitol Records in early 1984, and the band started to record their debut album, W.A.S.P. So here we go. Now, believe it or not, there are early pressings of the album. Also, it's not just known as the debut album. It's also known as Winged Assassins and I Want to Be Somebody. Released in 84 by Capitol Records, it was produced by Blackie Lawless and Mark Varney. Animal, Fuck Like a Beast, as we all know, was deleted from the album and was planned on releasing as an individual single in Europe. But Capitol Records passed on it on the last minute, and the band struck a deal with independent label Music for Nations, which you, of course, are very familiar with.
Yes.
Of course, it has the famous cover depicting a codpiece and a circular saw blade. My older brother had a picture disc, vinyl version of that.
I have that.
And, oh, do you? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother had it. He had one, and, hey,
mine,
I'm not gonna buy it.
The vinyl is in the shape of a pig's head. Is that the one he had?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, his was just a regular looking vinyl, but it was a picture disc. It had the cod piece on the front. I think the back had a group of the band, a shot of the band with some chick or something like that. God, it's been so long. And my older brother, man, he still gets pissed about to this day. His girlfriend borrowed the record at the time. She left the fucking album in her car.
Bitch.
During the summer.
It got all fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Yep.
Ex-girlfriend?
Oh, yeah. It was just like a kind of a fucked up situation, man. My brother, many tears he wept that day. Because, back in the day, we were huge W.A.S.P fans. It really hooked us in because it's kind of funny about W.A.S.P. And I'm sure you're going to agree with me. I mean, they were part of the LA scene, but they were different. I mean, you can't really classify them as a glam metal band. They weren't. No. They were more theatrical metal or shock rock to me. I mean, they were heavy, but they were definitely in that Alice Cooper, Kiss kind of, put on these outrageous shows. I mean, let's just put it this way, man. Kerry King of Slayer was a W.A.S.P fan. What's that tell you?
Yeah, exactly. There is integrity there compared to the glam bands.
So I have to ask, Mac, how did you get into W.A.S.P? I mean, I got into W.A.S.P pretty much for the first album. My brother bought it. We loved it. I remember when it came out, but I'm older than you. So, what was your first experience to W.A.S.P? How did you get into W.A.S.P?
Well, I would have discovered them mid 1990s, and it was through a guy that lived over the road, and my mother used to work at a shop, and this guy lived beside it, but he had this killer fucking record collection, and it was, you could basically walk from the shop into his apartment and vice versa, and I used to be up looking at the records that they had, and he had the hard and heavy VHS tapes, and that's how I first heard of Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. But I was flipping through one day, and I saw the Last Command, and fucking picked it up, and Blackie's on the cover. It's pretty cool looking. He's like standing holding a flag or whatever, and I was like, oh, what's this? And he was telling me about the band, and he was like, yeah, they have this song called Fuck Like a Beast. Now, I was about 10 at this time, so he probably shouldn't have been saying that shit to me, but I was like, oh, cool. And I didn't kind of hear any W.A.S.P until I think I used to watch the Friday Rock Show with Tommy Vance on VH1, and I think he played Blind in Texas or one of the singles, but I was looking a short while later in my record store, and I came on a cassette copy of Inside the Electric Circus. So I flipped it over, checked to see if this famous Fuck Like a Beast was on it, Animal, which it wasn't, but I bought it and took it home, and that was my introduction. Apart from seeing that video
so
on the
at least
TV.
Sonically it was. Sonically,
yeah. And
okay.
oh man, I fucking fell in love with that album. I still love it. I reviewed it on the Rock and Metal Combat podcast earlier this year, so you can get my thoughts if you want to check that out. Podbean, iTunes.
Great episode, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah, it was killer. But that was kind of my introduction, and then I obviously went back and got the debut, Last Command, Headless Children, Crimson Idol, just worked my way up. So yeah, that was my introduction.
Right, cool. Okay, cool. All right, very cool, man. So there you go. Yeah, see, where with me, man, I was like introduced to him from the first album on, and that wasn't always the case. Like earlier, I'd mentioned Twisted Sister. I didn't get into Twisted Sister till Stay Hungry, but what me and my brothers did, and that happened a lot back in the day. You would discover a band, and you'd really like them. And then I would always go back and check out their back discography, man, because back then labels had a lot more patience. If somebody didn't sell a lot of units right away, they would stick with them for a while until they hit pay dirt. And then what would happen is a lot of times when they hit pay dirt, whoever bought that album bought it, dug it, really liked it, and then you would go back and buy. And that's what I did with Under the Blade and You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, and just absolutely loved them. And I probably would have done the same thing like you with W.A.S.P, but I was lucky enough, to be there from the beginning. And I mean, my older brother and I, we fucking wore the grooves off this fucking record. I'm going to tell you right now, like, listening to this brought back a lot of memories for me, dude. A lot of fucking memories. I'm really glad you suggested W.A.S.P, I'd forgotten just how fucking great they were. Almost.
Yeah.
And I know any W.A.S.P fans are like, what? Hear me out. I'm a W.A.S.P fan, but I'm not a hardcore W.A.S.P fan. Like I said, I love the first few albums. For some reason, man, like I said, they just kind of dropped off my radar. I can't even tell you why. They just did, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there was a lot of reasons. One, they weren't on a major label anymore. I didn't really, and again, like even then, I was just getting hit by so many new bands, and also once I submerged myself in the thrash metal movement. I don't want to say I outgrew W.A.S.P because that's not true, really. I mean, that would be like saying I outgrew Kiss, and fuck, I never did. But it's just one of those situations, where I just kind of, like I said, W.A.S.P fell off my radar, man. I'm not going to lie and say it didn't, but hey, enough about that. Let's get into this fucking record, man.
Absolutely, yep.
Track 1, I Want to Be Somebody. You want to take this,
No,
Matt?
you go for it, man. You can kick it off.
All right, starts off with a little drum intro that just kicks you right in the fucking cock. Definitely a rallying song to me, anyway. I mean, it's basically saying, hey, I want to be somebody. I want to be famous, important, and beloved. In short, I want to be a fucking rock star and die young. Killer riffage and guitar work, courtesy of Piper and Holmes. As great as Chris Holmes is, Randy Piper was fucking great too. And Tony Richards drumming, he fucking kills on this record. It really shines, and it just complements Blackie's bass. I'm gonna say something right now. Now I think it was around Inside the Electric Circus, maybe, where Blackie switched to rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
Now I know Blackie did a lot of his writing on guitar, so I understand. But I miss his bass playing. He just fucking would lay down those bass lines. Oh God, he was so good, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, fucking killer fucking opening track. What do you think, man?
Just before I get into I Want to Be Somebody, just you mentioned Blackie and the bass. A quote from Blackie, the time he switched from bass to rhythm guitar, he was asked why did he make the change, and his reply was, the bass is a tool of ignorance. Just little tidbit I thought I'd throw in there. That's what his reply was.
He fucking made that tool of ignorance his bitch. And I know sometimes some musicians look down, but I'm like, well, look, bass is important. Number one, you can't have a band without a bass player. And I think guys like Cliff Burton have proven, and Geddy Lee and Les Claypool, and there's some tremendous bass players out there. So I don't know if I totally buy into that. But hey, man, Blackie's a guy that. He says a lot of controversial things. I mean, I know he's not always known for his... let's just say this. I really like his music. I don't know if I'd like Blackie as a person. I mean, I've heard some stories that he can be quite a cock knocker. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I've never met the man, so I can't say. But I've heard some stories, man, that he can be a real fucking dick.
Yeah, he's not very nice.
Kerry King mentioned it when he went on tour with him, how disappointed he was. And then he said, I learned right then and there how to treat an opening band. Yeah. And from what I understand, Slayer have always been good to the bands that's opened for them. They've always, and part of that was because, and it really bummed Kerry out because he was a W.A.S.P fan. So, yeah, I've heard he can be a real dickhead, Yeah. But like I said, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I don't know the man. I mean, I'm sure he's got a good side to him. Most people do. But, yeah, I'll say this, though, man. The guy was a hell of a songwriter. He wrote almost all of these tracks.
Yeah. I think apart from 2, he had help with everything else.
And I'm not going to make any bones about it. This is my all-time favorite W.A.S.P album. This is mine. And maybe it's just because it was my introduction to the band, but I just absolutely love this record, man. It was fucking great then. It's still fucking killer now. Yeah. Track 2, Love Machine. You want to take this?
Hold on. I'll just get into I Want to Be Somebody. Sorry,
I'm sorry.
No, you're all right. Look, okay. I'm not going to say too much about it because you've basically covered everything. It was first single, killer opener. The drumming by Tony Richards is killer. And he is such a big miss on future W.A.S.P releases. Like, that fucking dick that was in LA Guns. What's his name again? Brain fart.
Steve Riley?
Steve Riley, yeah. He's an average timekeeper at best. Not a fan. But, yeah. Tony's big fucking miss.
It kind of bums me out that Tony left so soon after... the first album came out, because God, he bashed the fuck out of those skins on this record, man.
Yeah, it's a shame. No, he was. It's just a shame that it only lasted one album. But I Want to Be Somebody.
I would have loved to have heard what they like. As good as his Last Command is, how much better would it have been if Riley had been bashing those skins?
It definitely would have been, without a doubt.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned. It's it's just one of those things that it is a shame, because I'd forgotten that, man. I'm like, he did leave the band early, because that was a big, to me on this record. The drumming is a huge part of the sound of this album, man. Like, it's just thick, it's fucking heavy. I think whoever Blackie and Mike Varney did a great job on the production of this album,
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
And I mean, you can tell it has that 80s production, but man, they did such a great job on it, in my opinion, I just absolutely, again, man, not to gush, but yeah, I just think this album it's just a great fucking record, man.
It's stellar.
I mean, there's not a bad track on this record, as far as I'm concerned, and it's I'm trying to find the right word, but there was something I wanted to. It was released August 17th, 1984, and it reached number 74 on the Billboard album chart. And then, like I said, shortly after the debut album's release, Tony Richards left and was replaced by drummer Steve Riley. I don't think Steve's a bad drummer, but I'm with you, dude. He's very much a
paint by numbers, nothing special.
Paint by the numbers drummer, yeah. I mean, then of course they embarked on their first world tour. But their reputation had preceded them. Initial dates in Ireland were canceled. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
In England, promoters tried to get the band to sign agreements promising not to torture anyone, release rats, or throw raw meat at the audience. Yeah. Meanwhile, the debut album achieved gold status in the U.S. and eventually sold more than 1 million copies worldwide. The singles released for it, of course, was I Want to Be Somebody, Love Machine, School Days, and they do count Animal, Fuck Like a Beast, even though it wasn't really part of the album. Which maybe we ought to talk about that record. That is a great song, dude.
Yeah, it's a killer song. It was eventually a part of the reissues.
Yeah, they re-released it in '97, and they made it the opening track.
Yeah. It's a great fucking song. Like it's just a classic. It's funny. It's taboo. I love it. Great song. Yeah,
and especially I'm sure to a 10-year-old kid when you were like, "Ooh, Fuck Like a Beast, what's this, man?" The one thing about it too, though, I got to say is I think this was this again. It's a shame that the drummer Tony didn't stick around because I think this was probably, I'm going to just say it, their strongest lineup. I mean, they were just really, really fucking good, man. But hey, at least they were able to capture it on an album.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So anyway,
track two,
Love Machine, brother. You want to take it?
Yeah. I love this song. It's catchy, fucking sing along chorus. I was jamming this CD yesterday, and my daughter was floating in and out, and she was singing it. It's just a great fucking song. Continues nicely in the second track. Love the track. Was it a single? Yeah, I think it was.
I do believe so.
Yeah. Great song. Great catchy sing-along chorus. I love it. Over to you.
Oh, dude. I love the song. Like, I just love how it starts off with Tony Richards, the galloping drumming, and how it just slowly, it's real quiet, and it just fades in, it just gets louder, and as it gets louder, Blackie opens up with the fucking, just killer fucking song. I love how the rest of the band just slowly fades in as well, and I just remember the video, which is totally cheeserific, man. Oh my god, it's so cheesy. But at the time, 13-year-old going on 14-year-old Mike thought it was the fucking most badass thing ever, dude. Like, I absolutely loved this song. I love the hooks and the melodies. Probably one of my absolute favorite tracks on the album. And Tony is just absolutely fucking beast on this record. I've already said that before. I know it might sound redundant, but you know what? He only did one album, so I'm going to sing his praises as much as I fucking possibly can because he's only on this album. Yeah, track 3, The Flame. Do you want to take it, brother?
Yeah, I love that song. It's just more catchiness, hooky, the melody, chock full of melodies. Probably, let's see, do I have a favourite song on this album? It's hard to pick, but if I could only pick 5, say, it would definitely be one of them. I get this kind of real 70s retro feel out of it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's a great fucking song. It's 3 out of 3 so far, and I give this is a 5 out of 5 track for me.
Right on. Flame, written by Lawless, Holmes, and Jay Marquez. Starts off with a really cool, just a real cool rock and groovy riff. just total rock and roll, like you said. It's like that rock-a-rolla sound, kind of that. I mean, obviously, and I know some people consider Kiss hard rock, some of them consider metal. I'm like Bill Wayne. I feel like 1974, 75, man, tracks like Parasite, that's fucking heavy metal. You know, I'm sorry. But Kiss also had that rock-a-rolla to them. To me, especially the early albums, when you listen to Kiss, there's definitely a almost a Chuck Berry like rock and roll, but heavier. Believe it or not, one of the terms for Kiss when they first started out, which I think is a really cool name for it, but you know, it kind of just slipped away through the passages of time. Somebody coined it as thunder rock.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, this fucking sounds pretty cool. And but you go because people have to remember, man, in the early 70s, nobody even knew what the fuck heavy metal really was. Okay, I don't even know if there was a term called heavy metal back then. So anyway, don't want to get in the Kiss vortex too much. Very, very cool song. I really like it. It might be a slight, and I don't mean any disrespect, it may be a slight step down from the first two tracks, but that is not in any way am I disparaging this track. That's if it is filler, it's killer filler, as our friend Godzilla likes to call it. Killer fucking, yeah, good fucking song, man. And like you said, it's kind of got that hook, like that late 70s hard rock, heavy metal, early U.S. metal.
Yeah.
I like it, definitely, man.
Cool.
Track 4, Bad, or B-A-D. You want to take this one, brother?
Yeah, I fucking love this song. One thing about Blackie is he's great at... He's very melodic. He has a very melodic mind. You know, I can just imagine when he's sitting down to write a song and the structures. And, like, he writes some fucking serious ballads. And, like, to me, this is what this song is. You know, yeah, maybe a little bit heavier in parts. But as we'll discover on some later releases, this guy can write a fucking ballad / love song. And his voice on it is just killer. I love this song. It's home run for me so far. Love Bad.
Oh, I got here in my notes. Opens with a cool riff with swagger.
Yeah.
You could even say that for the last track. That track had swagger to it. You know what I mean? It's basically talking about naughty girls and how they become their parents' worst nightmares.
Yep.
Very cool song.
Cool subject.
Yeah, probably my least favorite to be tracked on the album, but still a killer tune.
Yeah.
In no way am I going, oh, well, this fucking sucks. No, it's a good fucking song, dude. You know, yeah. Track 5, School Days. You want to take this one, brother?
No, you go for it.
I call this their ode to Alice Cooper, and of course the reason why is because, you know, school's out. Man, all I gotta say this is 13 going on 14-year-old Michael loved this anthemic track. I was a kid going to school at the time. Just a killer chugging riff. Man, it just brings back a lot of memories, Mac. I mean, what kid didn't fantasize about burning down their school? I mean, seriously. Because in many ways, school really is kind of like prison, if you think about it. I know some people might be like, what the fuck? Are you? Yeah, it's crazy. No, it's not. You have to, like, people try to step up to you and fuck with you and beat your ass, and you got to step up and whip their ass to let people know you're not going to take any bullshit. The teachers are like prison guards. Well, I didn't see anything. They don't give a fuck if you get your ass beat. The principal's like a fucking warden. In fact, I used to piss my principal off because there were times where he would get on our case and I would yell, "Where's the warden?" So, you know, I totally identified with this song at this time, man. I was like, yeah, burn this motherfucker down. Yeah. And that's the end of side 1 if you're on vinyl. Yeah, a great fucking track, man. It like I said, it just, when I was listening to it, I just had this huge cheesy grin on my face because it just brought back so many memories, you know, of that whole, you know, fuck this place and burn it down, and, you know, and I totally identify with it, you know. So, what do you think, Matt?
Yeah, it's a fun song. I like the way it starts off. You know, fun message behind it. I always like that bit when it goes, I pledge no allegiance. It just, I don't know, the way the song breaks down there. It's fun. I'm probably the opposite to you. This is probably one of my least favourites, but right. I don't hate it by any means. It's fun.
I think it's, like, now it's a little juvenile. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to throw that out there. But as I said, 13, 14-year-old Mike was all about this song. Like, and when you said that one, I pledge no allegiance, and I bet they're going to drive me crazy yet.
Yeah.
Nobody here is understanding me. I pledge no allegiance, and I bet they're going to drive me crazy yet. I'm dying here and trying to get free. As a kid, dude, I was like, oh my God, Blackie speaks for me, because it was like he was able to, he obviously remembered what it was like going to school at that time, or well, not that time, but as a kid, he probably had those feelings himself. So yeah, for me, man, it was like I said, now I don't, it's a bit on the cheesy side, and I don't mean any disrespect, because I know somebody who's going to be listening to this episode, he loves him some W.A.S.P, and that's Albin.
Oh yeah. And he's going to see them on the same tour, I think, maybe this
that boy
this
loves
weekend.
his 80s metal, man. Good Lord.
He rules.
He will defend Motley Crue's Theater of Pain to his dying breath, and I love that about it.
Yep, you have to tip your hat.
Yeah, I mean, personally, for me, that record, ironically enough, that's when I kind of tuned out on the Crew. But again, it's not that there aren't some good songs on Theater. There are. I mean, there's like 2 or 3 that I believe were written during the era of Shout at the Devil. It's probably why I like them.
Yeah.
But that's not my Motley Crue. My Motley Crue was Shout at the Devil. I mean, But hey, to each their own, man. But I love anybody who flies that flag for a band, even if it's somebody I don't really dig. I'm like, hey, that's fucking metal. That's fucking metal right there, man.
All right, where are we now? We are Hellion. Take it away, Mike.
Oh God, dude! What a track to kick off side 2. Another fast-paced, chugging riff, accompanied by Tony Richards' ferocious killer drumming. Probably the heaviest track on the album. I love the part where Blackie sings, "The gods you worship are steel. At the altar of rock and roll you kneel." A slave who forever rocks is chained in the devil's locks. Just fucking, what a great, and slain by the bloody axe I wail. I mean, it's just, goddamn, dude. What a killer fucking track. Killer guitar work by Piper and Holmes. I absolutely love this song, and again, it just brought back so many great fucking memories. What do you think, Mac?
Yep, absolutely. Killer fucking track. As you said, the riff in it, the chugging riff, there's a killer guitar solo in it. Tony Richards, again, he is definitely the MVP on this album. We've been talking about him more than anyone else, even Blackie, nearly.
Right.
He shines on it. The story of the song, it's compressed into, I don't know, how long is it? 3 minutes. It's just a great fucking song, heavy. Love the melodies on the chorus. Excellent. One of my favourite songs on the album. Fucking love it. And then we go into the next track, which, probably, if a gun to my head, I would say is my favourite track on the album, Sleeping in the Fire. Blackie's voice on that opening verse is like, I don't know, you can just hear the heartache or something. Fucking love this song. Beautiful song. Another perfect example of Blackie writing a love song, putting his heart out there. Fucking love this song. What do you think?
Oh man, just for everything about it, from the beautiful acoustical intro, Blackie's vocals are totally a standout, almost a haunting quality to him.
Haunting's a good word to use.
And the lyrics, oh my God, dude, just everything about it. It's just a great
It's panty remover.
Great. It's a very dark ballad, though. It might be a ballad, but it's, to me, it's, because I think the term power ballad gets thrown out way too often. And
it's not
funny, like, some
every
people
rose
think
has
that
a
I
thorn.
hate ballads. Nothing could be further from the truth. I mean, believe it or not, and maybe it's just because of the time I grew up in, but I actually love Beth. I know some kids say, "Oh, fuck that song." Well, no, fuck you. All right? I mean, that song, and I had no problem with that song when Destroyer came out. It was the only ballad on the album. I don't mind a hard rock or heavy metal band doing a ballad, as long as it's like just one. I don't want a whole album of them, though. But I don't mind. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do think while the 80s progressed, the what became known as the power ballad got very fucking cliche.
Yeah.
It's like, and every band followed that pattern where it was like, okay, we're going to do the rockin' song first, and then we'll do a ballad. And most of them sucked. But there were a few, like, but even Black Sabbath, I mean, come on, Changes. What a beautiful song, And Hard Luck Woman by Kiss. What a great fucking song, man. I don't give a fuck if it's a ballad or not. A good song's a good song. And this song, fucking rule. And like I said, to me, I'm not even going to use the word power. It's a dark ballad.
Yeah.
It's a dark ballad, and
Heartfelt.
I fucking absolutely love it. And I also love how it gets heavier as it goes along. Just stellar guitar work, sweet, tasty fucking solos by Piper and Holmes that makes my dick hard. This track fucking rules.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a great, great fucking track. Might be my favorite song on the album. It's one of them, for sure.
Nice.
Just can't, like you said, Blackie has the talent for that shit. And not everybody can write a good ballad, but he can.
Yeah. Yeah, he's so fucking talented. He's such a talented lyricist.
He's a very underrated songwriter. Blackie, I don't think, gets enough credit for that, So, yeah, while we might be singing Tony Richards' praises, hey, let's be honest. There is no W.A.S.P without Blackie.
He is W.A.S.P.
He is W.A.S.P, yeah. And I'm not disparaging any of the other guys that have been in any of the other lineups. They're all talented musicians, and they all contributed, man. And I'm sure Blackie would be the first to say that. But for me, I believe that, Blackie is a very underrated songwriter. And I had forgotten, because, dude, it's been a long time since I really, every once in a while on the Metal Mike show, I'll play a W.A.S.P song here or there. But to actually sit down and listen to an entire W.A.S.P album, I had not done that in years.
Yeah.
Years. And it's like I almost kind of had forgotten just how good of a fucking songwriter Blackie was, man. The guy was fucking great. He was great, man. You can't... This album alone, it's a stone cold metal classic, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Anyway, On Your Knees, my brother. You want to take this?
No, take it away.
All right, another killer W.A.S.P track, man. Just total S&M track, which was a W.A.S.P staple. Just another killer track. There's really not a whole lot I can, say about it other than that. It's a good, solid song. I like it. Like I said, to me, there are no duds on this album. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I love it. Catchy, again, hooky, cool riff, great drumming, lyrically, it's awesome. I love it. As you said, another killer W.A.S.P track. Great, love it.
Yeah, I mean, there only gets a point where you just kind of repeat yourself, and that's how I'm kind of feeling we're getting there by this point of the album, man. Like I said, it just doesn't stop. You go into Tormentor, written by Lawless and Holmes. Another fucking, and I love how it starts with the rack sound effects, and then the song kicks in with just a badass riff. It's all about the masochism. Yeah, masochism in this one here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll get the fucking shit out of my mouth. Sadomasochism. Great, but again, that was a W.A.S.P staple. It was their whole thing. I mean, they would have chicks up on stage they'd pretend to torture and shit. They had to have played this track a lot in the old days. This had to be one that was a fucking concert staple. Probably a staple before they even recorded the album. When they were doing those live shows and getting a buzz, I guarantee you, Tormentor had to be one of the songs they were playing. It's also in 2 B movies, believe it or not. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know
W.A.S.P
that.
actually makes an appearance in one of them.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. What's the name of that movie?
Dungeon Master,
yeah.
which was released in 84, and TerrorVision, which was released in 86.
Yeah.
And this song's on both tracks, and it literally has W.A.S.P singing the song. The movie's fucking god-awful. God,
Yeah,
it's terrible.
I can imagine.
It's
I never
so
saw
fucking
it.
cheese dick, man. But it was kind of cool, though. But again, we rented it. We watched it because, oh my god, it's fucking W.A.S.P.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me and my brother were such W.A.S.P fans. We're like, oh, fuck, it's Blackie. You know?
Yeah.
And we would just rewind and watch that part of the film. We were like, fuck the rest of this movie. This movie fucking sucks. But that part was cool. So, yeah, man. Great tune. Anything you want to add to it, brother?
No, nothing. It's... Love it. Great song.
And then we got The Torture Never Stops, closing track. Take it away, brother.
Yeah, look, great closer. Just killer closer to a fucking killer album. Well, no, I was going to say, would it be my second favourite? No, it wouldn't. It would be behind some of the ballads, but great. I can't really say much more. Great closer to a great fucking album. Great song.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much, I just put, this is what my notes, another awesome fucking track, a great closing track. This album rules. That's what's in my notes. It just got to the point where I'm like, what more can I write or say about these songs that I haven't already fucking said? Like, what a great album. Great debut album. And, you know, it's funny, man, because when people talk about great debut metal albums, I don't really hear this album get brought up. And again, that's a shame. Again, kind of underrated. I mean, W.A.S.P, I think, are a bit underrated. I don't know, maybe we're going for a theme here about, you know, but I'm kind of glad you picked W.A.S.P and that we decided to do Rat, because I did want to shine a spotlight on these bands, you know. And like I said, I'm really glad you, because even I had kind of forgotten just how fucking good these, especially these early albums, just great stuff, man. Yeah. And what was really cool about it is I love going down memory lane. It was fucking great.
That's the best thing about this whole thing.
Oh, by far. So then we move on to The Last Command. Now, that started in 1985. They started beginning work on The Last Command, and they were working with Spencer Proffer at Pasha Studios. Now, anybody who knows their metal history knows who Spencer Proffer is. He's the guy who basically produced Quiet Riot's Metal Health. The band also goes on tour, and they did so without their signature of Blood and Guts stage show, and they opened for a lot of major acts like Kiss, and my brother saw them on this tour, and he said they were fucking amazing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I know that on the album itself, Blackie... It says right here, 1985 saw W.A.S.P release their second album, The Last Command, which of course was produced by Spencer Proffer. The supercharged sophomore effort would reach 49 on the Billboard album charts. Prior to releasing The Last Command, W.A.S.P released the single Blind in Texas as an early taste of the eagerly awaited follow-up. The four-man crime spree of Lawless, Holmes, Piper, and Riley worked hard, toured hard, and played hard. A liner note on the inside of The Last Command, which one could interpret as a reflection of the band's state of mind, warned, "Don't drive drunk or blind, in Texas or anywhere else." It was during a 1985 Kerrang! Interview with Dante Bonetto that Blackie Lawless revealed, "The first album I still like a lot. I think it's great for what it was. It has a lot of energy and was designed to be a fun record. But this record is a lasting record. God, I sang my ass off on this record. I really did. It took me 6 hours to put the vocals on Wild Child. I did it all in one session, and it was the most painful thing I'd ever done vocally in my life. I was like a dish rag by the time I finished, and it took me about a week to recover." I was like, wow, I didn't know that, man. And that's what I'm saying. This website is just a wealth of information. If you want to know the history, whoever, did this, they did a hell of a job, because, I mean, and I'm hoping somebody will build one like that for Rat, now that Fuck Stick's out of the picture, because they really need a good website too. But yeah, so now I gotta say, as much as I respect Blackie and I like Last Command, to me, I don't want to give anything away, but hey, fuck it, man. We're doing a retrospective, so it doesn't mean I'm really giving anything away. I don't think Last Command's as good as the first album. That's just me. It's a good record, though. I'm not going to put it down. It was, like I said, released in October '85, Capitol Records. And then it says, according to their website, it said it was released on November 9th in 1985. So I'm getting conflicting information. Recorded October 1984 to mid-1985, and that was according to Wikipedia. So do you want to get into this, man?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, track 1, Wild Child, written by Lawless and Holmes. What do you think, man?
The only problem I have with this song is its placement on the album. I don't think it's a great opener for the record, but I do think that Wild Child is the greatest song that Blackie has ever written. I absolutely adore this song, and I always have. You know, from when I first heard it, I remember the first time I heard it, I immediately put it back and listened to it again before I listened to anything else on the album. It's got some maturity compared to the other heartfelt songs, even, you know, on the debut album. I just think his voice is just perfection. You know, and you can understand seeing how he put so much into it. I just think it's a beautiful song, and it's one of my it's my favorite W.A.S.P song of all time. I think, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
love the song, and yeah, I know it was a single, and you know it was popular, and it's a setlist staple. But I can never get tired of this song. Absolutely love it. Favorite song on the album. Favorite W.A.S.P song. Period. I think it's a beautiful song. 10 out of 10.
So 10 out of 10 devil horns with some fucking steroids.
And some
Demon
fucking
God thrown in.
sprinkles on top as well.
Wow. All right, man. Wow. How do I follow this? Okay. Of this track. Yeah, written by Lawless and Holmes. I do kind of agree with you. It's a good song. I don't know if I would have made the opener, but what would you have opened with? Ball Crusher or like something that would have fucking smacked you in the mouth? Maybe a little bit.
Or The
more?
Last Command, maybe.
The
I think
Last
that's
Command,
a great song.
yeah, maybe they, you know, because I do think you're right. The placement of it's kind of weird that they decided to make this the opening track.
Yeah. Actually, sorry, just before you go any further, there is one thing I have a problem with this song about is, you know, that before the last chorus, you know, when it breaks down, you hear them animal noises.
Yeah, that's a bit. I you know, it's, again, I gotta admit, man. You know, and this came out in October of '85, so I was 15 years old probably. At the time, I thought it was the coolest shit. You know, I thought that was just so fucking ooh. You know, like the bells, the whistles. It's fucking cheese dick, dude. I agree.
Yeah.
It's the one flaw of the song, man. I don't think it needed it. I don't really care for it. Is that what you were gonna go with?
That's the only thing, yeah. And do you know what? It's that minor. I nearly forgot about it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I killer fucking track. I dig how it starts off slowly and then just builds up. And I even put this is W.A.S.P with bells and whistles. I said, you know, and then again, took Blackie 6 hours to record this track, and it took a week for him to recover, which is fucking crazy. Yeah, it's a great song, dude. And like I know you said, yeah, it was a hit. I mean, they played it quite a bit on MTV, I remember, but I liked it even at the time. I thought it was a cool song. I thought Blackie's vocals, again, almost haunting. But you know, his vocals sometimes, it's weird because he has that real aggressive, I thought like a beast, which I love that. But he has those haunting, you know, melodic, like, yeah, man, vocals. And yeah, I wouldn't say it's my favorite W.A.S.P track of all time, but it's a classic. It's a stone cold fucking classic, and it doesn't surprise me that they play it to this day because, it was and also it's a cool fucking song for to watch a chick strip to. So, you know, a girl I dated, she did a little strip tease for me. Nice. Song when I was down. Well, she was actually somebody I went to high school with. So yeah, it was really cool, man. I was like, sweet, you know. She knew I was a W.A.S.P fan, so and I didn't even really expect her to do it, man. She just fucking the song started playing. Next thing I know, man, fucking clothes started flying off. I'm like, this is nice. Thanks, Blackie.
Nice to see her.
Some about the song, I guess, really turned her on. I don't know, man, but
it's nice to see Gare with her own initiative.
Yeah. I didn't even ask her to. She just did it. We just started playing. She was pretty drunk though, too, so that might have had something to do with it. But hey, I wasn't going to complain. I was like, thanks, Blackie. And also love the lyrics, too, because it's about being involved with the fucking crazy bitch, really. Yeah. Who makes... or no, wait, that's... I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. No, but I do like Wild Child as far as the lyrics and stuff. Especially when he's like... tell me the lies you're telling him when you run away, because I want to know, because I'm sure it's killing him to find that you run to me when he lets you go. It's like, goddamn, Blackie, that's fucking fucking hardcore, dude. It's like, hey man, I'm proud I'm fucking your bitch behind your back. Like, goddamn, dude. But yeah, really, really cool song. Again, a lot of fond memories of this album. Like I said, when I said I felt this album was, I mean, to me, and again, it probably has to do with the fact that was my introduction to W.A.S.P. But the debut album, or also known as Winged Assassins, it's a masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. So, anyway, we go to
Ball Crusher,
track 2, written by Blackie and Chris, and. What do you think of this one, brother?
Yep, good tracks, fairly strong, straight up rocker. There's nothing that really stands out in it. It's just, it is what it is. It's a good, solid track. Some cool riffs, and yeah, I like it. Good placement in the album too. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I like it.
And I even said right here, love the lyrics about being involved with the crazy ball-busting bitch. Who makes Blackie's life fucking miserable. An old story with different faces, and one that I can, of course, totally relate to as well. Killer riffage and guitar work. Damn good song. So that's what my notes were when I did that.
Awesome.
So yeah, I dig it. And then we got track 3, Fistful of Diamonds, written by Blackie.
Yep,
you want to take this one, brother? Okay. Well, I like how it starts off with the voiceover talking about the stock market, and you can hear like the sound effects, almost like you're at Wall Street or something. I thought that was kind of a cool, and it just goes into a killer fucking riff, basically about wanting to make as much fucking money as possible. A greed is good song, and this was 2 years before Wall Street, dude. Which was a very prevalent feeling in 1980s America. And I mean Wall Street the movie.
Yeah.
Basically Blackie saying ain't a goddamn thing wrong with capitalism, you fucking snowflakes. So, and I agree. I mean, I'm sorry, but fuck socialism. I don't really get political, but I'll get political when it comes to that. The shit of, the government owes me a living, and if you get on the government tit, you're never going to get off. And the one thing that I wish people would understand, because I remember a dude I met who was from Russia, and he remember how I remember him telling me about how when he lived in Russia, dude, there were times he wouldn't even bother to show up for work. And if he did, it was late. Because, dude, there was no consequences. What are they going to do, fire him?
Yeah.
He's not going to get a raise. He's not going to, they're not going to fire you. And there's no, and not only that, but there's no advancement. You get paid the same wage no matter what. So why
bust your balls?
Why bust your balls? And that's what happens with socialism. You got a bunch of lazy fucks but you can't really call them lazy. They're just like, well, why should I break my fucking back if I'm not going to get anything? Okay, so let me get this straight. I'm going to get the same amount of wage no matter how hard I work or if I don't do any work at all. Gee, I wonder what I'm gonna do. You're gonna.
I know what I'd fucking do.
On your balls and smoke weed or whatever. You're not gonna fucking work. It's fucking idiots. Shut the fuck up, you fucking morons. Jesus fucking Christ. And for your information, fuckers, any Democrats or Republicans out there, I'm not neither one of y'all. Okay, I think you're both fucked. Okay,
yeah, you're A and O.
I got a little slogan. Okay, here it goes. Republicans are red and Democrats are blue, and neither one of them gives a fuck about you. There you go.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So, fuck off. Anybody listening to Stace is like, shut up. Just shut up. I'm just so tired of the political arguments and the fucking bullshit. Things are fucked. The world is fucked. Get over it. Move on with your life. There's nothing you can do to change it. You're not going to change a fucking thing.
Yep.
Sorry,
we're all
but
fucked.
You're not. We're fucked. It's over. Okay? Just smoke a fucking bowl, drink your fucking beer, and sit back and watch the fucking freak show. Okay? Sorry, man, but that's the way it really is. And if I'm raining on your fucking parade, people, well, hey, you know what? Somebody's got to do it. Now let's move on to the next fucking track. Or did you do your...
No, I didn't do it yet.
Fistful of Diamonds. Take it away, Matt.
Yeah, great fucking song. It could have been... It sounds like something that could have been on the debut. Mm-hmm. It has that sort of vibe to it. It's solid. Great riffs. Guitar solos, the way they kind of trade off each other. It lacks a bit of punch, but it is what it is. It's not a bad song. I like the pace of it, and the vocals are good. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Right on, man.
So where are we? Jack Action.
Yeah, written by Riley and Lawless. You want to take this one, brother?
Yeah. It's like a fun mid-paced rocker, catchy chorus. Jack Action, is that like fucking, or what is it?
Well, if you listen to the lyrics, what he's basically talking about is it's a guy named Jack Action who the singer of the song, the narrator, Jack Action killed his woman. It says right here, I've been uptown, all around. I've looked.
See, I don't really.
Everywhere. He
I
killed
don't really
my
digest
babe
the lyrics like you.
with the gun. I'll get him now. He can't run. And that's what he's talking about. Like, he's going to put a bullet in this motherfucker, man. He's like, he's mine. He's all mine. My bullets are bearing his name. Yeah. His life is mine to claim. So, yeah, he's literally talking about going after this dude. But go ahead, Matt. Continue.
Yep. Look, nothing much really can say about it. It's a cool song. See, I don't really analyze lyrics as much as you. I don't know how. I thought Jack Action was like some fucking slang word for, I'm looking for Jack Action. I don't know. I just didn't really fucking listen to it that close.
It's kind of weird. I don't always analyze lyrics either, but with the website, man, each album you click on them, you click on the song, it shows you the lyrics.
Oh, cool.
So it's like, okay, kind of cool. So I'll check it out. See if I gotta be honest with you, man. Of course, it's been so many years since I listened to this record. Either I had not realized it or I had just forgotten what the song was about. But yeah, I think it's a cool song. It's very kind of like you said, a rock and rolly sound, rock-a-rolla. Kind of reminds me of a song that the Alice Cooper band back in the 70s would have wrote, almost. Which we all know Blackie was an unabashed Alice fan. I mean, that's obvious, I think that he was an Alice Cooper fan.
Oh, yeah.
And especially with the lyrical content, like I could so hear Alice singing these lyrics and kind of like Desperado, you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those type of songs where he's, and yeah, it's about a dude named Jack Action that killed this dude's woman, and now he wants to kill this scumbag. And it's a cool track. I dig it. Yeah, I dig it, man. I think it's a good song.
Cool.
Yeah, I like it. Awesome. Widowmaker, written by Lawless. You want to take this one, brother?
No, you work away there.
Okay, it starts with, of course, the wind blowing over an open area like the plains. Once again, this album, I think, was W.A.S.P with bells and whistles. And I don't mean any disrespect. I'm just saying this is kind of like, it was a little different, but still heavy. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, well, W.A.S.P sold out with this record. It's not what I mean at all, but the producer definitely was doing a Bob Ezrin thing, I think, with this album. You know what I mean? Kind of like with Kiss and Destroyer. Acoustical intro that is very reminiscent of the Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns. Back in the day, like The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. I don't know, it just kind of reminded me of that. And like I said, all the sound effects, bells and whistles, very haunting melodic tune, probably about as close to a ballad as you're going to get with Blackie at this point in time. Once again, a dark ballad, much like Sleeping in the Fire. Would almost be a better term for it, I think. And I really like the lyrics because, again, it was right there for me to read, so I read them, and I was like, wow, that's... Again, I think sometimes people forget just how good of a lyricist Blackie is, because, let's be honest, a lot of W.A.S.P songs were fucking suck fuck, you know, I'm going to spank your ass kind of shit, and you're my fucking whore kind of song. and Widowmaker is not like that at all, you know, and... yeah, I dig it. I think it's a good song, very solid track. What do you think, man?
Killer. Yeah, it's a great song. Great instrumentation, fantastic intro. This kind of Arabic type intro, you know, with the bass line and all that. The lyrics are fantastic. You know, a bit slower than the rest of the songs in the album, but the chorus is very powerful. You know. Even though it's only them couple of short lines, vocal work is A1. It's a little bit atmospheric.
Very haunting, like I said.
Yeah, haunting. Now, I can understand it may take a little getting used to by certain people. They mightn't really get it from the get-go, but it's definitely a standout track on the album. Fucking 10 out of 10 for me. Again, love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can only speak as a fan who was around at the time. I didn't think anything about it as far as like, well, what the fuck is this? Because to me, it was just like, well, this reminds me of, like, I felt, hey, this could have even been on the first album in a way because of the whole, again, Sleeping in the Fire. You know, it's a dark ballad, and like you point out, Blackie's really good at that shit. Track 6 on Blind in Texas, once again written by Blackie, and that was the end of side 1. Widowmaker closed side 1. Now we're going into side 2. If you're on vinyl, which I think we had Last Command. I think we got that one on cassette. I don't know. My brother might have, because they had CDs back then. I believe he might have bought that one on CD. It's been so fucking long ago. I know the first album we definitely bought on vinyl, but. Anyway, Blind in Texas, a very humorous track. The video's funny, too.
Yeah,
it's basically about getting completely hammered in Texas. Very fun track. Lighthearted. Good rockin' song. No complaints here. What do you think, man?
Yeah, it's fucking fun, balls to the wall, party anthem. Lyrics are funny. Catchy hooks, choruses. It's memorable. You know, that chorus, I'm Blind Texas, it's gonna stick in your fucking head. And it's got this kind of, especially at the start, this kind of old-fashioned rock and roll vibe to it. Great fucking song. Fun song.
Yeah, it's a good song. Good song. Track 7, Cries in the Night. You want to take this, brother?
Yeah, no, you go ahead.
Okay, here's my notes, of course, written by Blackie. I said another track with an acoustical intro, very introspective, too. Cool song, because it's basically talking about how being famous and a rock star just really isn't all that it's cracked up to be, you know. It's a cool track, and I really do really like this song a lot. However, and I don't want to be a negative fucking Nancy, but it's a little redundant to have two dark ballads, in my opinion, especially so close together. I mean, you end side 1, you know, with Widowmaker, and then you turn right back around, you do a rock, and then another dark ballad. But be that as it may, still a good, solid song. I like it. What do you think?
Yeah, look, I love it. This is the type of songs that I love. You know, another heartfelt ballad. Vocally, he just fucking nails these songs when he sings them.
I think maybe it's the placement, Mac. Maybe I think they should have placed it like maybe after Last Command, you know, in between, or maybe like right before Sex Drive. Just because I said we just had a killer dark ballad, and then you do a rock song, and then you turn right around to it. I just think, but you said, like we said, man, the placement, some of the songs on this album, it's a good record, but I agree with you. I think that maybe they should have kicked the song off with a more rockin' tune, like The Last Command. but hey, man, what the fuck do we know? I mean, we're not rock stars, and I don't know the first thing about recording an album.
Yeah.
But,
No,
so anyway,
placement isn't great. Placement isn't great on it, and placement, it means a lot on a record. But
I think so too. The flow of the album is very important.
Absolutely, it needs to keep you awake, keep you interested. But I think this song is actually a reworking from an old song called Mr. Cool, that was around in one of those bands before W.A.S.P, maybe Sister or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I remember hearing that before, but it's a great ballad. The instrumentation again is great, and a cool guitar solo. I'm not going to say nothing about the drums. O'Reilly's just timekeeping. So, but great track. I love it.
He ain't no Tony Richards, goddamn it.
Did you notice that was the first time he was fucking mentioned? Yeah,
but you know what? Hey, fuck it, man. Oh no, I think we mentioned Riley before, but it was like, well, he's just a paint by the numbers, and I feel bad saying that because Steve's not a bad drummer at all, but he's
he's better than us.
I mean, I can't fucking play. I mean, he just doesn't. He doesn't blow me away. Okay, he's a Bobby Blotzer, but not a fuckstick.
Yeah.
He's a guy that, he does his job and he does it capably. I'm not saying he's a shitty drummer at all, but he's not somebody who stands out to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's no Richards. He's no Lombardo or Gene Hoglan. He's no Peter Criss. Or he's not anybody that even Eric Carr had his own thing, which was separate from Criss. Like Eric was a heavy, bombastic, kind of, you could tell, influenced by John Bonham. But yeah, there you go, John Bonham, Bill Ward. I like Neil Peart. I like drummers who kind of have a signature style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Riley just, where, I mean, man, you listen to that first W.A.S.P album, I mean, fuck, dude, Richards is just bashing them fucking skins. I just almost makes me wish I could go get a time machine and go, bro, don't leave W.A.S.P. Yeah. Just don't fucking leave, man. You're fucking on. Because as cool as this record is, how much better would it have been if fucking Tony had been on it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I just got to throw that out there, man. I know I said that earlier, but still. Anyway, track 8, Last Command, written by Lawless. What do you think, Mac?
Yeah, I really like it. I think it should have probably opened the album because, it's up-tempo. It's not one of these ones that's going to kick you right in the dick, but, it gets the job done. The only thing I don't like is on the intro to the song. I think it's a bit cheesy, that or whatever that goes. Something that could have been in Top Gun or Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
But I think the chorus of the song's really cool. Gets the point across. It's not a bad song. I do like it. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a rallying song.
Yeah, it's like one for the boys. They all get together and
It's not a song that I'm like. I think it's a good song. I pretty much echo what you're saying about it. It's. That's what I'm saying. Like when you said, well, I'm looking through this song, I'm like, well, I don't know what I would have opened the album with. I mean, maybe Last Command, but I don't know. Maybe that's why they ultimately decided to go with Wild Child, is they looked at the tracks and go, well, man, there's not... Because quite honestly, as good as this record is, there's not any track on here that really kicks you in the fucking mouth. No. Like, bam! Yeah. There isn't, so maybe that's why they thought, well, fuck it, man, we'll just open with the best song. Yeah. Which really, let's be honest, Wild Child is the best song on this album. So that was probably why they opened it with it. Now, I'm not putting this album down. It's a good, solid record, but it's not the kick in the teeth that the first record was, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm not saying it's a bad record at all, but this album just doesn't have the energy that the first record did, in my opinion. But yeah, it's a good song. I like it. I think in my notes I even said, not bad. I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it, but I do like the song. Yep. And then we got Running Wild in the Streets by Lawless and the producer Proffer. It's not bad. I don't know though, man. It's just, I think that the ending of this album, as far as it
falls
this
off.
Is where the album
bit.
kind of fucking runs out of steam a little bit for me, man. It's not a bad song. Again, kind of a rallying, you know, we're running wild in the streets, and you know, I'm standing proud, we're screaming loud, I'll lead the crowd, running wild in the streets. It's not a bad song. I'm not knocking it at all, you know. So Alvin, if you're listening, I don't want you to be like, fuck you, Metal Mike. No, that's cool. You know?
Great Alvin impression there.
You know, I don't fucking, you know, mean any disrespect, because I know this boy loves him some W.A.S.P, man, and that's cool. That's awesome, man. You know, you fly that fucking W.A.S.P flag, little man. You fucking do that, kid, because you know and that's one thing that was kind of cool when I went to see Obituary and Exodus, was seeing some of the people in the crowd. I mean, there was people my age, there was people older, there was people that had their kids, there was fucking young people there too, man, and that's awesome. And that's what Zetro said. He's like, fuck yeah, man, you guys in the next generation keep flying that fucking metal flag. And I love the fact that they're coming out to see an older band, but they were all about the newer bands too, and that's great. So yeah, album, you keep flying that metal flag, brother.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah. And then of course we got track 10, Sex Drive, written by Lawless and Holmes. You want to take this, brother?
Yep. Typical W.A.S.P suck me, fuck me song.
That's what I got in my notes, dude.
It's fun. You know what? It's a great driving tune. You know, if you're in the car.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, dude. It's a good solid closing track.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love it. Great song.
And that's what I put. I literally wrote typical W.A.S.P suck me, fuck me track. I dig it.
That's what I want in my W.A.S.P. is plenty of suck me, fuck me.
Sure. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, because that's what. Again, it's what you expect. It's like, you know, which I don't mind a band evolving or changing if it's, you know, because I know some people think, you know, because I've gotten in arguments with them about Metallica, the Black Album, like, well, you fucking, you know, you just want Metallica to stay the same, blah blah, and I'm like, no, dipshit, I don't. One of the major arguments I had, and I had it with on Bill Wayne's Facebook page, Kiss 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 Heavy Metal / Hard Rock. Somebody posted a thing of the Black Album, and I don't mean to get in a Metallica vortex here, but what was funny about it is they asked opinions about the Black Album, and I just said blatant sellout. As far as I'm concerned, it's just blatant fucking sellout. And, you know, and I said a few other things, and this guy came in, and this guy was always somebody, he's no longer part of that Facebook page, but he would always, like, he was just an argumentative fucking troll anyway. You could say, man, the sky's beautiful and blue today. He'd have been like, no, it's not. It was like whatever you posted, he had to fucking
argue
with
what
you.
was his name?
Glenn G. Hansford.
Oh, that fucking, you know.
He's a fucking tool, dude.
Yeah,
he's a tool.
He
if
got
you're
me
listening,
banned.
Glenn, you're a fucking tool, dude.
Yeah. Hope he dies in a fire. Fucking prick. He got me a 30-day ban.
Did he?
Yeah. Do you remember myself, Bill Wang, Justin Childers? We were all gone around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just back from a ban. I had 2 weeks, and that fucking fuckstick reported me for something that I'd said, and yeah, 30 days.
What a fucking little bitch.
Yeah, little cunt.
Is that when Bill finally kicked him off? Which I didn't understand why Bill put up with him for, because I mean, I swear, dude, you could have posted anything. You could say cancer sucks, and he'd be like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
He'd give you reasons why it didn't suck. You know, it's like no matter what you. And he was always like, and you know, I argued with him a few times, man, because one of the things he said was he believed in drug prohibition, and I said, well, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, yeah, because, yeah, if you fucking legalize drugs, they're going to be doing it out in the parks and in public places. I'm like, well, like they're not already, number one, dipshit. I don't know what country you live in. Come to find out he's from Canada, which I'm not disparaging Canada. You know, our neighbors up north, and I don't have a problem with them, but, you know, I think they're cool people. I've talked to a lot of Canadian metalheads that are fucking awesome. They're our cousins up north, as far as I'm concerned. So I have no problem with Canada. But I was just like, okay, well, I don't know. Maybe that shit don't go on in Canada, but here in the States it does. Like, I'm going, can you be that fucking naive? Because here's another thing, guys. Drug prohibition doesn't work. Just like when they tried to prohibit alcohol, it doesn't fucking work. Mm-hmm. You're not going to stop people from getting high. And whenever I hear people say ignorant shit like, well, you don't just make things worse. They're doing it anyway, dipfuck. You fucking morons. Like, I don't want to be a dick like that and call them more, but God, it's like, how can you be so naive? What, are you brand new out of the fucking package? Mm-hmm. Like, seriously, you don't fucking see that these people are going to fucking do it anyway? Like, you're really going to stop them? Mm-hmm. What, just because something's illegal, they're going to quit getting high? Are you? No, dude, no. And look at Amsterdam. They legalized drugs and prostitution. Mm-hmm. And they don't have near the problems we do.
And it's two thriving businesses adding billions to the economy.
Fucking right, dude. Like, I'm like, it's not about morality. I'm not saying drugs are healthy and good for you. It's not what I'm fucking saying at all, but you're not going to stop. If a motherfucker wants his fucking high, he gonna get high. You're not going to fucking stop him, legal or not. And here's another question, all you people who are for drug prohibition. If they legalized fucking heroin tomorrow, are you going to start shooting up because it's legal?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man. Get a fucking grip here. I mean, it just, and like you said, just the money that fucking, and I'm sure Ireland, same way, they just waste all this money and manpower and resources trying to stop something that you're not going to fucking stop, man. Yeah. Okay, if there's a war on drugs, guess what? They won. Yeah. It's over. Okay? It's like, you're like them motherfucking Japanese soldiers that were left on islands that didn't realize the war was over. Guess what? Done. Game over, man. You're not going to fucking stop it. And I know some people might go, God damn, Metal Mike's awfully cynical. Yeah, goddamn right I am. Yeah, I'm cynical. But you call it cynicism. I call it being a realist. I call it being real. Okay? People need to just stop. And this guy, he got in a huge argument with our DJ, we've had him on the podcast, Shant Starr, about drug prohibition. And he just went back and forth. And I'm just like I said, you could have been like, cancer fucking sucks. And he'd been like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah. Just know you've
argued with you about the benefits of cancer. I mean, it's just the kind of guy this guy. He's a fucking fuckstick. You're a fuckstick, Glenn, if you're listening. And no wonder your name's Glenn. There's another Glenn I don't like. His name's Danzig. You're right there with him. You're right there with him, okay? But this fuckhead, so he kind of attacked me and said, well, you calling it a sellout is a lame criticism for something you don't like. And then he said that it was a progression and that Bob Rock did for Metallica what Bob Ezrin did for Kiss.
Oh, his balls.
I said, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I laughed when I read that. I'm like, oh, that's funny, Glenn. So I guess he didn't think I was gonna fucking chime back, because I noticed a lot of times he would piss so many people off that they would like block him or ban. I'm like, fuck that, I'm not doing that with you. And here's another thing, man, I bring myself into it. My profile pic's my pick, not some motherfucker wearing corpse paint that I know obviously ain't you fucking douche. Yeah. So anyway, he fucking tells me, and look, Glenn's entitled to his opinions. Everybody is. If you like the Black Album, go with God. I don't give a flying fuck. But when you say ignorant things, like, because one of the things he said was, well, what did you expect him to do? Play 1,000,000 miles an hour? Like, to keep. And I'm like, that is the most idiotic statement. Well, but that's idiotic, James, and I'll tell you why I feel that way. Besides Kill 'Em All, really, Kill 'Em All is the only pure, totally thrash metal album Metallica ever did, if you want to be real about it.
Yeah.
As great as Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets are, not every one of them is fucking playing 90 miles an hour. Fade to Black ain't fucking 99 miles an hour. For Whom the Bell Tolls ain't 90 miles an hour. The Thing That Should Not Be is not 90 miles an hour. Disposable Heroes even isn't, like, well, it's kind of fast. But Leper Messiah is another one that's not 100 miles an hour. That's fucking 4 songs off the top of my fucking head right there. Orion, again, not 1,000,000 miles an hour. So, what the fuck are you even talking about? But you know what separates those songs and the songs off the Black Album? Those songs fucking rule. Those songs are actually good. And they kick you in the balls. Okay? The Black Album is watered down Metallica that was made palpable for the fucking masses who had no goddamn clue about metal or Metallica to begin with, okay? You know, a bunch of prep jock motherfuckers that even now when they go to Metallica shows, and I've heard people complain about it, they'll play fucking Fight Fire with Fire, and they're like, what the fuck is this? But the minute they fucking enter the same, they got the devil horn. It's like fucking posers, you know. Whatever. And I'm not trying to be an elitist, but that shit does piss me off, man. I mean, I heard the same thing with Guns N' Roses. Whenever they would play It's So Easy, everybody, like, not everybody, but a lot of people scratching their head, didn't know the fuck. The real fans were all about it.
Yeah.
I heard that on this tour a lot, man, from a lot of different people. And so basically, when I just basically did a counterpoint, James, I just was like, okay, well, here's your points, here's my counterpoints. And one of it was the songs that I just mentioned to you. And then I said something about comparing Bob Rock to Bob Ezrin is completely fucking ludicrous. I said, let's look at the body of work. And it was a long response, dude. It was a very long response because I put down the albums that Bob Rock produced and the things that Bob Ezrin has done. And I'm sorry, Ezrin wins. Yeah. To me, comparing the two is kind of an insult to Bob Ezrin. I mean, you know, what the fuck are you even... You know? And I said, and here's another thing, you know, Metallica had already made it with Justice for All. They were already huge. They didn't have to do that, you know. So you compare, and you know, and by the way, Kiss was just coming off of Alive, which last time I checked sold 4 million copies. It was a huge fucking monstrous hit. And got news for you. They really didn't need Bob Ezrin. I don't think they did. And I'll tell you why. If it hadn't been for Beth, Destroyer was kind of considered a semi-flop until that happened. They were already in the studio recording Rock and Roll Over, Mac. Yeah. So, again, it just, the comparison didn't work. But the best part where I got him was when I said, you know, I don't know, maybe your definition of progress is different than mine. Because my definition of progress is things get better over time. And if you're going to sit there and fucking tell me that the Black Album is better than Master of Puppets, well, then you and I are on different fucking spectrums of the Metallica fan base. I'm on one side, and you're all the way there on the other. And you know what? If that's the case, that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that, man. That's what makes the world go round, bro. I was even trying to be kind of cool about it, like, you know, hey, and you know, when you tell me, oh, well, this album sold millions of copies, well, you know what? So did Britney Spears and the Spice Girls. Does that mean it's good?
Yeah.
You know, so again, your logic doesn't make any sense to me. So then he responds with, nice rant, Mike. Too bad it isn't very useful. And I responded back with, well, I don't know if I would have called that a rant. I said, I admit I get a bit wordy sometimes, and you know, but you accused me of being lame, and that my criticism is lame, so I wanted to give you a detailed description of why I feel this way. I go, but, you know, you said it's not very useful. I said, what the fuck does that even mean, Glenn? I don't understand your comment there. I don't understand your statement. I said, are you trying to say that your opinion is more useful than mine? They're just opinions, bro. You know, like, I wanted to say you arrogant fuckstick, but I didn't. I was just like, you know, I just said, they're just opinions, bro. Obviously, you think the Black Album is the greatest thing Metallica ever did, and I think it sucks absolute shit through a straw. Who cares? At the end of the day, does it really matter? I mean, my opinion's obviously in the minority. Why the fuck do you even, you know, like, it isn't very useful. Oh, so your opinion is? Yeah. Fuck off, dude. You know, like,
yeah, he's a pretentious dick.
And it was so awesome because Ian Wadley followed it up with Metal Mike has spoken, and then he wrote, typed in parentheses, mic drop. And that motherfucker didn't fucking reply after that. Yeah. He fucking went away like the little bitch he is.
Yeah, well, Ian banned him from the Rock and Metal Combat page because of what he done to us.
Yeah, he's a fucking tool, dude. Yeah. You know, and you know, I bet him and Bobby Blotzer are probably good. He probably likes Scab Rat. He probably thinks that Bobby Blotzer's cool. Fucking fuckstick. Fuckstick number 2.
Yep.
Fuck that guy. Anyway, man, so I guess we are done with Last Command, my friend. And I'm sorry, I know listeners, I know I just went off on a major rant, but it sounds like it needed to be done, especially since now I know you have a history with that guy, too.
Yeah,
so it wasn't just me. Yeah, he is. He's an absolute fuckstick. There's no doubt about that, man.
know.
All right,
But anyway.
man. So now,
All right. So how about we get into 1986? Was it? Yeah, Inside the Electric Circus. I think it was 86.
I believe it was. It says right here, September 1986, Capitol Records. Of course, they did, the Last Command and all that, and I guess listen to this shit, dude. This is fucked up. So the summer of '86 was spent recording in L.A. with plans to return to Europe to do an autumn tour. The first single from the new sessions, 9.5 Nasty, was released in September, and the tour began in October. To coin inside with the tour, the band's third album, called Inside the Electric Circus, was released. Before the start of their British tour, W.A.S.P fly into London a few days early to appear live at the Town and Country Club for a BBC Two special called Rock Around the Clock. Their usual grand finale with Blackie's codpiece exploding in a shower of sparks was deemed to be too unsuitable and was not filmed. Also, around this time, there were bomb threats in arenas where W.A.S.P were playing, and Blackie had his life threatened by gunshots. Wow.
Yeah, it got fucking... Things got dodgy around this time. This was at the height of the PMRC debacle, and, all the fucking religious groups were after Blackie and the band at the time, so...
and they were just watching metal bands like a fucking hawk, man. They were all over Ozzy, W.A.S.P. Well, all of them, really, man. They really went after Ozzy hard.
Priest,
yeah. So, anyway, the third album, Inside the Electric Circus, was recorded during July of '86 at the Pasha Music House in Hollywood, California. Prior to the recording of Inside the Electric Circus, guitarist Randy Piper left the group. King Cobra bassist Johnny Rod was brought into the fold with Blackie Lawless, switching from bass to rhythm guitar. This album was produced by Blackie Lawless and mixed by Michael Wagner, which Michael Wagner, big time guy in the production of metal albums. I mean, God, go down his discography and it's fucking unreal.
Yeah.
It was released in October of '86 and reached number 60 on the Billboard album chart. Inside the Electric Circus was supported by W.A.S.P's biggest tour to date, including dates with Iron Maiden and Slayer. And then he says right here, the only time we did not receive a bomb threat during the entire Inside the Electric Circus tour was when we played Long Beach Arena, explains Blackie to the W.A.S.P Nation. I did not know about that until the tour was over. The room got cleared at the Orpheum in Boston. I think the room got cleared 3 times on that tour, and that's a big pain in the ass, having to clear out all the people, have dogs sniff for bombs, and then get them back in. Needless to say, the shows were a little late in getting started, to say the least. Yeah, I would fucking imagine they would be, man. So, I will say this, another thing that's interesting about Blackie, I get the feeling this isn't one of his favorite albums, man.
Yeah, no, he
says
doesn't
right here,
talk too fondly
this
of
is
it.
a tired record by a tired band, that he kind of feels like he wishes he could have taken some time off, maybe, and then and maybe he's right. I don't know, we'll get into it. Of course, track 1's The Big Welcome, which is the intro to the album, which I just kind of count as part of the song Inside the Electric Circus.
Yeah.
What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, it's silly having it as a separate track, but look, for what it is, an intro to the title track is pretty cool. Well, it is what it is. Like, I don't really think...
Well, this album obviously had a theme, and they had to fucking get that across to you, I mean... So, I think it's kind of silly that they made it a separate track, but I don't think that was Blackie's doing. I'm sure that was fucking, goddamn record company, for whatever reason. And I don't know even if that... And that's coming from a CD point of view. Whether that was that way on vinyl, I don't know. I don't have this record on vinyl.
It's the same. So. I have both. Yeah, it's the same.
Okay. So anyway, but it sets the mood for the record.
Yep. Gets a point across.
Track 2, Inside the Electric Circus, written by Lawless. What do you think, man?
I love it. I think it's a great opener. It's kind of mid-tempo, killer vocals and guitar work. I think it's a great type, opening track on the album. I fucking love it. What do you think?
I dig it. Yeah, cool rocking track, killer guitar work by Holmes, and of course we know by this point in time Blackie switched to rhythm guitar, and obviously a very competent guitarist. I realize he wrote a lot of his songs on guitar, so again, I don't know. I just think maybe it was just a visual thing. I just thought Blackie just looked totally badass with the bass, man. He was a big dude. It was just like, I don't know. He just had that fucking, I'm gonna beat you over the head with this bass vibe to him, in the old days. But I understand why he switched. I mean, it kind of makes sense in a way, considering that he considered himself a guitarist anyway, I think, and I guess maybe he just felt like, fuck it, I'll play bass, because why do I need to play guitar when I've got Randy Piper and fucking Chris Holmes, I mean, when you got two really good guitarists like that at your disposal, why would you not, oh yeah, fuck, I'll play bass, so. But yeah, I dig this song, really good fucking opening track, and yeah, man, I give it a 5 out of 5 devil horns. Good song. Okay.
Right. I don't need no doctor. Take it away there, Mike.
It's a cover of an old Red Charles song. Yeah, mediocre at best. It's okay. I could take it or leave it, honestly. It's alright. I mean, I don't want to sound like a dick, but yeah, I could live without it. It's not a horrible song, but let's just say this: when it comes to W.A.S.P, it's not essential listening. If I was to do a compilation of W.A.S.P songs, this would not be one of them.
Yeah. Could. Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Look, I like it for what it is. One thing I will say about W.A.S.P is they do great covers whenever they do them. Yeah. I think they do the song well. It gets the appropriate treatment from the band. Look, for a cover song, I like it. It's okay, pretty good.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not. Like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm bashing it. I'm not. They did a good job. It's a good cover, but like I said, man, it's no sleeping in the fire, dude. Let's just throw it that way. It's not something that I'm like, oh God, I gotta fucking hear. I don't need no doctor. That's my fucking jam. Yeah. No, it's not. Track 4, 9.5, Nasty, written by Blackie and Holmes. You want to take this one, Mac?
No,
you want me to?
Go ahead. Yep.
Well, this is my notes. Cool fucking intro. Another fuck me, suck me song, which, hey, it's W.A.S.P. Good rock and solid track. Totally cheese dick lyrics at their finest. It's W.A.S.P. Like if you like W.A.S.P, you're gonna like that song. If you don't, you're not. That's my take on it.
Yep. Hey, look, same. It's just suck me, fuck me again. Typical W.A.S.P song. It's a throwback to the first album again. Really like the track. Killer. Great song. Where are we then?
And then we got Restless Gypsy, another track written by Lawless. You want me to take this one?
Yep.
This is what I put. Reminds me a little bit of Wild Child, but somewhat faster. It's a good, catchy track, but I can certainly understand why Blackie felt that maybe they were possibly going through the motions with this album, because this is a good record, dude, don't get me wrong, but I kind of felt like they were kind of repeating themselves a little bit, so I can kind of understand where Blackie was coming from. Even though I think this is a good record, I'm not... Because, I mean, it's weird. I don't think Blackie's like, oh, this album sucks. I think he's just saying, man, it's a tired album. But, like, they were wore out by this point, with everything, the touring, the drug use. I think they were just like... But, at the time, W.A.S.P had momentum. How could they not record a record? They fucking had to at this point.
They had to, yeah.
They had to. I mean, because they had momentum, and at this point, they're getting a name. And, I mean, it was kind of funny, because as big as W.A.S.P got, and I'm only talking in the States here, folks, they were never a fucking headlining arena act. In fact, I think in a recent episode of the Rock and Metal Combat podcast, Ralph Vieira pretty much said that Wadzilla. He was like, hey, as big as W.A.S.P got, they were never like that. They were never like, you know. I mean, and that's no put down on him. It's just, it's the truth. At least, and we're only talking from the States' point of view. I don't know what they did in Europe, or maybe they were headlining stadiums there. I don't know.
They played a lot of festivals, you know, Donington, Monsters of Rock, you know, Fifth on the Bill, you know, bands like that. They played clubs, you know, theatres. They were never really a big concern, you know. A decent working band is what they would have been here.
Right.
But you know, nothing like, well, like even Motley Crue wasn't that big here, you know.
Really?
Yeah, not really. No, you know, UK. I don't know. Maybe in places in mainland Europe, yeah, they might have been, but here they weren't. The UK, they weren't. Not really. You know, W.A.S.P would be in that category as well.
Yeah, see, like over here in the States, fucking Motley were huge.
Yeah.
And they still are revered. Why, I don't fucking know. But, you know, we all know my feelings of Motley Crue. I just feel they're, you know, I said it in the Retrospective. Sorry, man, but Rat are a much better band. Motley Crue, way fucking overrated, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
It's probably going to piss some of our listeners off. Albums probably like, I kill you, Mike. No, it's cool.
Cool.
Anyway, track 6, Shoot from the Hip.
Hold on, I have to get into Restless Gypsy here. And
I'm sorry, dude. I'm
it's
sorry.
Okay. This is a very important track for me because it's tied for my favourite song on the album. I just think it's a great fucking track. Great songwriting. From Blackie again, great lyrics. The only thing, I think Chris Holmes lost his inspiration come Inside the Electric Circus, because a lot of his guitar solos are just recycled, and they're the same similar pentatonic scales going up and back down. You know, there's no real originality. He recycles
maybe that's
a lot.
what I'm sensing. Maybe it's Chris.
Yeah,
Because quite honestly, like I said, it's a good song. I don't want to sound like I even put it. It's a really good, catchy track. But I can understand why Blackie said what he said, because it felt like they were going through the motions. And maybe it wasn't so much them. Maybe it was Chris. Maybe Chris was just like, man, I'm just not fucking feeling this. Because we all know he was going through some shit.
Yeah, he was fucked up.
It's well documented in Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, directed by Penelope Spheres, that, Chris was going through some shit at this point. Also, it's kind of funny. The research I did, the relationship between Blackie and Chris is an odd one. Yeah. It seems almost like a love-hate thing going on there, especially from Chris's point of view. I'd heard that, you know, because he got involved with Lita Ford, and I'd heard stories that, like, Blackie was jealous, you know, and was trying to, fuck things up between him and Lita. Now, I don't know if that's true, or if that's just Chris being paranoid. I don't fucking know, man. I can certainly understand why Blackie would have wanted to fuck Lita. She was fucking smoking hot, especially back then. Still a cutie, in my opinion, for her age, but back then, god damn, she was smoking hot. But there just seems to be some animosity, especially now, man. I mean, last time I read an interview with Chris, he was not very complimentary to Mr. Lawless. Let's just fucking put it that way. Yeah. But Restless Gypsy.
That's
an interesting point. That's an interesting point that you made, man.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I just hear a lot of recycling, nothing new.
Yeah.
But look, it's still a great fucking song. As I said, it's tied for my favourite song. The other one is coming up now fairly soon. But it's also another one of them songs that could have been on one of them 80s soundtracks. You know, them teen films, fucking...
yeah.
It just has that... It has a real Top Gun vibe to it. But Restless Gypsy, I love it. A lot of times, if I go to put this record on, I'll listen to Restless Gypsy first, then go back from the start, and then listen to it again as it, comes up on the track list. But yeah, I love it. So that takes us to Shoot From the Hip. You take this one, Mike.
Written by Lawless, cool chugging riff with swagger. Nice fucking soloing courtesy of Chris. Another Fuck Me, Suck Me song. And here's another component that we need to mention about maybe the reason why, like you said, Chris might have been kind of mentally at least checking out at this point in time, but we don't have Randy Piper there either, dude.
Yeah.
And, as good a guitar player as Blackie is, it basically made W.A.S.P a one guitar solo band at this point.
Yeah.
And maybe that affected them more than they would admit or realize, because with Blackie moving to rhythm guitar, now the onus is on Chris to do all the major lead guitar work, and maybe he just wasn't
inspired,
mentally prepared. Yeah, and I've never understood. Does anybody know why Randy left? Has anybody heard? I tried to find some research.
I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't really find a whole lot about why he left. He left and he formed a band by the name of Animal, and he didn't stick around, man. So I don't really quite understand. I would like to know more, but there's really not a whole lot to find about that. But I definitely think that losing Randy was kind of maybe a bit of a blow to the band, at least from my point of view, because you already lost Richards, and then you're replacing with Steve Riley, ho hum, and now you got, and don't get me wrong, I don't want to disparage Blackie's guitar playing. He's a good rhythm guitarist, but like I said, I preferred him with the bass.
Yeah,
that's
me too.
Just me, man. He just had that fucking badass swagger, man, and the way he would just hit that bass, man, it was just like fucking, I am Blackie, hear me roar, kind of thing. But hey, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I guess I could say maybe that was just it. Randy's left, and then you got Chris is all fucked up. So maybe Blackie has his reasons for saying what he said. There was a tired record made by a tired band. Because as good as this record is, I can hear some. Well, like you said, Chris, man, his lead soloing. Some of it's almost identical to other songs. It's just like repeating himself, going through the motions.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what did you think of it?
Yeah, I like Shoot From the Hip. Suck Me, Fuck Me galore. It's full of innuendos. I love the line. I love the part where it goes, hot and sticky, here it comes. And that line, my emotions coming down all across your face. And what could be better?
Hammer slowly and aim it at your love.
Yeah.
Put my barrel in your holster
like a velvet glove.
Wow. Those are lyrics that would do Gene Simmons proud. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Oh, yeah. But yeah,
Gene,
it's a great song.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun. It's a great song. It's fun. Just typical W.A.S.P. But then it goes into track 7, is it?
I'm Alive.
Yeah.
Written by Lawless.
This is tied for my favourite song, along with Restless Gypsy. I love this. I love the beginning, that intro. It's nearly like some sort of a Native American, Apache type vibe.
Oh, definitely.
Written about the fucking religious groups that were out to get Blackie at the time. Love the line, damn you holy man alive, and oh no you won't nail me to the tree or whatever. It's just lyrically it's fucking spot on about what was happening, what was going on at the time. It's just a fucking great song, catchy as fuck. I love it. What do you think?
Wow, dude. Killer galloping Iron Maiden quality riff. all in all, cool fucking intro. Reminds me of something that definitely could have been on the debut or Last Command. Absolutely love this track. Possibly
Awesome.
my favorite track off the album.
Oh, nice.
Killer guitar soloing by Holmes. I think Chris really nailed this song. And like you said, lyrically, it's just fucking great, man.
Cool. I'm glad you like it.
I love that. You know, in the chorus, I'm still alive and I'm the soul survivor. Yeah, fucking great fucking song. Yeah, by far one of my favorite tracks.
Nice.
On the album. And then, of course, we've got Easy Living, track 8, which is a cover of an Uriah Heep song. What do you think of this, Mac?
Look, again, the W.A.S.P do a great job of covering other people's songs. I'm not a big fan of the song anyway. It's okay. I just don't see the need to have 2 covers.
That's another problem I had. I'm like, 2 covers?
Yeah.
Really?
Because there's another song that appeared on the remasters that came around these sessions that's actually better than anything on the album, I think, except for I'm Alive and Restless Gypsy. It's called Flesh and Fire, and that should have been on instead of another cover, you know?
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, they could have easily made, and I think they could have made money off the cover. All you had to do is just put it on a B-side of a single, you know? Like, they could have been easily have put Easy Living or I Don't Need No Doctor as a B-side on one of their singles, and I think it would have done okay, you know?
Yep.
I agree. I think that doing 2 covers on an album is totally fucking redundant. With that being said, I think W.A.S.P did a great job on it. I actually do like Uriah Heep, and I like the song. My dad, you know, he had some Uriah Heep albums when I was a little kid, so when he put a stereo on, I have a lot of fond memories of hearing this song. I like Uriah Heep. I've always thought they were a very underrated band, and I know Blackie is an unabashed fan. He's a really big Uriah Heep fan. So in a way, it doesn't surprise me that he did this cover. Really cool shit, man. Good. It's a good cover, but I do agree with you. I think that, and I've never even heard that other song, but I'll take your fucking word for it, man. Because like I said, man, 2 covers, and I don't know which song I would have picked though, man. If it'd been the covers, like would I've went with Easy Living? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I Don't Need No Doctor's not a bad song, but I like Easy Living better. So I probably would have put the song that you talked about and made I Don't Need No Doctor.
I'll send you the song because it's a killer fucking song.
Cool. Sweet Cheetah, track 9, written by Lawless and Holmes. You want to take this one, brother?
No, you go for it.
Once again, this is going to sound fucking very redundant, you know. I mean, I've been saying this album, but even my reviews. Another killer chugging riff with fucking nice, sweet, tasty soloing over the top from Holmes. Another track that could have very easily been on the first 2 albums. What do you think?
I love it. Vocally, lyrically, the melodies. I think it's a great fucking song. The solos, even the, you know, I'll give Steve Riley some, you know, credit here. Even the drums is pretty cool on it. You know, he does an okay job. But yeah, fucking love this song.
Well, yeah, and I want to clarify something about Steve Riley. I'm not a Steve Riley hater. He gets the job done. He's a competent drummer. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want anybody thinking we're going, oh well, fucking Riley sucks. We're not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if I had my druthers, well, Metal Mike, who'd you rather have had in the band? Tony, dude. I'm sorry, man. Tony.
Or if not Tony, the guy that drummed on the next record, The Headless Children. Fucking Frankie Banali.
Oh, yeah.
He did a killer job there.
He did a great... Hey, Frankie's a fucking good drummer, dude.
Yeah, he's just a bit of a douche.
Damn, you want to talk about an underrated drummer. Holy shit, man. We'll get into that in the next segment. Anyway, great song, and I think Riley did do a good job on the drums, man. I agree with you, man.
Good.
Then we got track 10, Mantronic, written by Lawless and Holmes. You want to take this one, buddy?
You keep it going there.
Okay, dig the acoustical intro, very nicely guitar work by Holmes. And then I put, you know what, this track is completely fucking cheese dick, but I can't help it. I fucking love it. Musically very cool. Lyrically is fucking retarded, but I love it, man.
Yeah.
Mantronic. It's like a pornographic version of like a science fiction movie.
It's fucked
Mantronic.
up.
Yeah, but I can't help it. I got a kick out of it. What do you think?
Musically, I think it's really cool. It's just lyrically, it's dumb.
Oh, it's fucking retarded, dude.
It's like
it
some
is so
fucking sex robot machine.
Right.
Do
I
you
just had this fucking like the Terminator, only he's going around fucking bitches and shit.
Yeah. Do you know what it reminds me of? You know, on the band cover of Appetite for Destruction, where the chick's lying there unconscious, and you have this robot. Yeah,
that's the Mantronic. I bet it is. I bet that's. Yeah, I bet he is the Mantronic.
I bet he is. Yeah.
Actually, that is such a great painting. Wasn't the name of the painting called Appetite for Destruction? I mean, I think that's where Guns N' Roses got the name. Because that was a painting that pre-existed before.
Yeah.
They liked the painting so much that's the original cover. You want to hear
1978.
Something
that painting.
My brother bought that record when they had that cover.
Oh, nice.
That's what I'm saying when I say we knew who Guns N' Roses was before anybody. Because eventually they replaced it with the skulls of the band, which was cool. And then,
but it's not as cool as the painting.
Yeah. When you open up the record, they have the painting. But I remember when that was the cover, man. And anyway, we're digressing. I'm sorry. So, King of Sodom and Gomorrah, Lawless, Holmes. You want to take this one, brother?
Yep. It's so fucking dumb, but so good. I think it's so dumb it's good. Like lyrically, I don't even know what the fuck Gomorrah is or Sodom. Well,
I can explain that for you.
Yeah, some biblical thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, King of Sodom and Gomorrah, was basically named after the twin cities mentioned in the Bible, the Old Testament. Sodom and Gomorrah, where God basically just smited the fuck out of the cities. A lot of rampant fucking butt sex going on, and just men with men, women with women, men with women. Literally these angels come to see Lot, who's the only pure holy man, and I guess these angels must have been some really good looking guys, because if you read the Bible, they basically try to bust down Lot's door to fuck these angels. They want to rape them. They want to fuck these dudes. Yeah. And Lot's like, but here's where the story gets really weird. And this is where I have a problem with the Bible sometimes, man. He basically says, well, hey, don't fuck these guys. They're good guys, but I'll let you fuck my daughters. And I'm like, what? and that makes him a holy and pure man? Like, what? That's where I have a problem with the Bible sometimes. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, hey, man, don't fuck my homeboys, but hey, here's my daughters. Like, who fucking does that, dude?
Yeah.
And anyway, what ends up happening is God and the angels say, hey, you got to get the fuck out of here. We're going to be raining some fucking sulfur and fire on these bitches. And whatever you do, don't turn around.
Yeah.
Don't look. Well, Lot's wife, being a woman, obviously, especially in the history of the Bible, and I don't want to piss off any of the female listeners out there, because I didn't write the book, okay? I'm just telling you what, but it's the same thing with even the apple. I mean, I always make that joke to anybody who is religious when they talk about men. I'm like, hey, who ate the apple first? Come on now.
Yeah.
Which to me, it's all mythology anyway, but that's neither here nor there. She, of course, fucking turns around and then is turned into a pillar of salt because of it. It's a cool track. I dig it, but it basically, he could have just been, I'm the king of sucking and fucking. I mean, that's really what the song's about.
Right.
Yeah, but when you read the, but that's what happened, man. She turned into a pillar of salt, dude. Because dumb bitch didn't know not to look. He told him, hey, don't look. What'd she do? Hey, I want to see the pretty lights.
Hey, she can't talk back now, though.
Oh, right. God, man, our female listeners are going to be like, fuck these guys. We're only joking, ladies.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't write it, but if you read the Bible, especially the way they characterize women sometimes in this, is just like, oh my God, man.
Yeah.
But that's my problem with the Bible anyway. Like, one of the things that I find the hardest to believe about it, like especially like the story of Exodus with Moses, is it's not the miracles and the plagues that he brought to Egypt. It's none of that. It's the fact that these fucking idiots, after supposedly witnessing all this shit with their own two eyes, when they finally get out of there and what's the first fucking thing they do? They go and build a gold calf. Now, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not a religious guy at all, but I live pretty close to the Mississippi River. If I saw somebody split the Mississippi River in two, that's just the Mississippi River, I'd be like, there is a God, and I don't want him pissed at me. Mm-hmm. See what I'm trying to say here? And these morons apparently saw all these things, these metaphysical, supernatural things. And what's the first fucking thing they do? Let's build a gold calf. Dude, it just doesn't make any sense, man. The story falls apart right there. I mean, I know people are stupid, but are they that stupid? I don't know. Maybe they are, but I'm just like, wow. So, yeah. Anyway, that's another fucking rant and a tangent. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Track 12, The Rock Rolls On, written by Blackie. You want to take this, brother?
Yeah, it's... I don't know what to say about it. It doesn't really do much for me. I think it's a bad closer. There's better songs that could have closed the album. It's not a horrible song. It's just filler. Some great screaming by Blackie in it. Look, it is what it is. Not a bad tune, but I would skip it.
Well, like I said earlier, it's not one I would add to my compilation of Lost songs. It's okay. It's not bad. It's tolerable. I don't listen to it and go, well, this fucking blows. It's a decent closing track's what I got. I go, and this may have been a tired record by a tired band. Overall, this is my feelings. Yeah. But there are some gems on this album. So that's my final note on Inside the Electric Circus.
I love the album. It was my first W.A.S.P album, so it obviously has a place, special place with me, but I'd probably listen to this more than any of the other albums, to be honest.
Well, it was your intro. It's a sentimental attachment. I understand.
Even though in retrospect now that I'm older, a lot of the songs, don't really do much for me, but the songs that I like, I really fucking like. But yeah, overall, I think it's a great album. Well, it's a good album. It probably doesn't get the respect it deserves. I think it's better than what people give it credit for. Excuse me. But yeah, it's the last true W.A.S.P album.
Yeah, I mean, is it Chris on Headless Children, or did he leave by then?
Oh yeah, he did. No, Chris was there. Well, Chris was there right up till...
Yeah, because then after that's the Crimson Idol, and he's not on that record.
No, it's Bob
this
Kulik.
Is the last. Yeah, this is the last record with... in fact, there's a song that Blackie wrote for Chris called Mean Man.
Yeah. Great song.
Yeah, and he's even on the cover of the single.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a weird relationship because it's almost like kind of a love-hate thing. I don't know. It's just weird, man, between them two. So anyway, I guess we're done.
We're done for this week
of our W.A.S.P retrospective, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you fucking enjoyed it. I know I did. Like I said, and now it's going to be an interesting territory because while going to hear the next album is a trip through memory lane, before we did this retrospective, believe it or not, Mac, I was not familiar with Crimson Idol.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, I knew about it, but I didn't know about it till years later. And now I think they're doing a re-release of the record. And,
they are, yeah. I think there's 3 new songs, I think.
Well, they're even talking about, they've made a movie for it, so I'm kind of like, wow, man, I'll have to check that out. Which, we'll get into that in a minute. So, yeah, the next review, we will cover what? Headless Children, Crimson Idol, and then Still Not Black Enough, right?
Yeah.
That'll be the next episode, man. And so, yeah, I've done my homework all the way up to Crimson Idol, man. So I'm going to be checking out Still Not Black Enough and the rest of the stuff here in the next week or so. Anyway, yeah, you got any final thoughts so far about the story of W.A.S.P?
So far, so good, man. A few clunkers here and there, but I have to say the material's been pretty solid up until this point. I'm looking forward to getting into Headless Children and the Crimson Idol. So, there's a lot more great stuff to come if you're not too familiar with the band.
Right.
And if you're not too familiar with them, get on Amazon, or you can get the albums on there, or else just check them out on YouTube. If you like what you hear, go and fucking buy them. Support the band.
Yeah, sure, definitely. And I wanted to also throw out here that because we're not going to cover this album, I do feel though it bears to be mentioned that in '87. And this was after all the threats from the Inside the Electric Circus. So in '87, W.A.S.P were listed 5th on the bill of the Castle Donington Monsters of Rock Festival in the UK, which, like you had pointed out, they did a lot of festivals over there in Europe, which was headlined by Bon Puke Jovi. Yeah, I said it. I fucking can't stand that fuck. Their act included the return of the torture routine in all its glory. Yeah. The week before the festival, Scream Until You Like It, the theme tune to the horror movie Ghoulies 2 was released. Was released. I remember that. This was then followed by the release of the band's fourth album called Live in the Raw, which was released in February of '88, and it leads to Music for Nations following up the original Animal release with a live version. So, and I remember Live in the Raw. We had it. My brother bought it. In fact, that's the song when he did Harder, Faster, where he's like, he does his whole speech about, Tipper Gore, and he does the whole, she can suck me, eat me raw. This is harder, faster. So, very, very cool. And that's all follows before the recording of course, this all proceeds before the recording of Headless Children, which is where we will pick up next week.
There's no point us going through live albums, songs that we already talked.
Songs we already talked about, man. Yeah. So, I gotta say, man, a good pick, Mac. I've enjoyed this so far, going down memory lane. But now it's going to get interesting because, like I said, I remember Headless Children, but now we're going into territory where I'm not as familiar with. So we'll see where we go from here, man. So anyway, listeners, thanks for listening. Thank you so much, guys, for the iTunes reviews, and please check the podcast out on what we got. What, Spreaker? You want to go through that? You go through that whole
Spreaker. I took us off Podbean. I just didn't see the value in having us there, seeing as most our listens were coming from Spreaker and iTunes. So we're on Spreaker, iTunes. You can find us in Podcast Addict. We're on the TuneIn app. We're on YouTube. So you can find us easy. Bookmark us, like us, whatever the fuck it is you do, subscribe, get the new episodes automatically. But that's it from us. Keep the reviews coming in, and we'll be back with part 2.
And make sure that you check out that metalstation.com for the return of our very own DJ Mac.
Yes, coming soon, hopefully.
Coming soon, yes. Yep. All right, man. You guys have a good one. Stay metal, motherfuckers.
Nice.
Hey everybody, this is DJ Metal Mike, and you need to check out the Metal Mike Show every Friday night from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Check out the Crusader of Metal Show, DJ King. Bringing metal to the masses every Sunday night from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on thatmetalstation.com. The Doctor is in. Every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Dr. Buck takes over the airwaves, asking questions and letting give you your prescription of metal. That's right, The Dr. Buck Show. Only on that metal station.
Hey, I'm Dr. Fuck.
And I'm the Ayatollah of Alcohola.
And we are from the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
If you want to check out some crazy, uncensored, unbiased, totally nuts reviews of classic hard rock and heavy metal albums, check us out. You can get us on Podbean and iTunes. New episodes every Sunday.
That's right. And we also do each other's moms.
True. Free of charge.
Well, mine charges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mine's free.
Earpillar, the podcasting and interview news site. To keep up with your favorite bands or artists and the podcasts or interviews where they appear, go to earpillar.com to find out what we're all about.
You haven't listened to Mars Attacks podcast? What are you waiting for, man? Host Victor Emroyce brings you all types of hard rock and metal-based podcasts. You'll find everything from music-based episodes, interviews, to series such as Ultra Sexy Classic Album Series, where some of your favorite musicians, producers, journalists, and show hosts comments on the albums that push the evolutionary chains of hard rock and metal. Get with it and go to MarsAttacksRadio.com to find out more.
All right, Kiss Army. Since 2007, you've been getting Podkissed, the Kiss audio fanzine for your ears.
That's right, it's your Podkissed. Every month, the Podkiss crew, along with the Kiss Room, brings you Kiss talk like no one else, whether it be roundtables, interviews with the band past and present, analysis, and great Kiss fun.
Hi, this is Ace Frehley, and you're listening to Podkiss.
Hi, this is Bruce Kulick, and you're listening to Podkiss.
The Podkissed, the Kiss audio fanzine for your ears.
Hey everybody, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Chris.
And we're from the Decibel Geek Podcast. And if you love this...
then you'll love us.
That's right. Brand new episode every single Monday. You can find us on iTunes and at decibelgeek.com. And the best thing is, it's rock and roll and it's always free.
Hello. My name is Lee Gerstmann, and I have a podcast which is improvisational in time. The next episode might be 20 seconds away or it might be 20 years away, but it's called The Lee Gerstmann Show, and I do a lot of record reviews, but I also do editorials about women and food and other subjects, strange or otherwise. Feel free to take a listen to the Lee Gerstmann Show on Spreaker. Thank ya.